Today's cold open is dedicated to the public domain, in which things become free to use by everyone in the public, well, in the United States at least. Winnie the Pooh being the notable inclusion for 2022. And of course, there's already been a fan trailer about a Winnie the Pooh horror film, so great things to come. Also, squirrel update, the squirrels are continuing to eat my tomatoes. So, there's that.
We need Max's Squirrel podcast. That's what,
Yeah.
Patreon
Agreed.
content right there. That's good enough to monetize.
Yep. Hello, you're listening to Good Brews, Bad Views, the podcast that asks if great beer makes bad movies any better. I'm your host, who is currently trapped behind a CGI wall, Max Nestorowicz, and as always, join my co-hosts who are in detention for reasons that cannot be disclosed, Ren Everett
It's just a green blanket I have down here, Max. You can get out whenever you want.
and James Thorpe.
I thought you weren't allowed to talk in detention.
Quiet you.
Yeah, don't know. It's been quite some time since I've been to one. So,
Oh, Max, I'm a goody two-shoes.
yeah, deal with it, nerd. So today on Good Brews, Bad Views, we are watching Saban's Power Rangers, the 27 adaptation of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series that you probably watched in your childhood if you are listening to this podcast. As such, we had to call in an expert on all things tokusatsu and Sentai related. It is our good friend of the show, Aaron Carson. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
All right. Thank you for joining, sir.
Oh, glad to. And I started for just the correction right now. It's 2017. So
Oh,
if it's
yes,
2007, we'd be. Like,
Oh gosh!
No.
Oh god! Could you? I can only imagine what that movie would look like. It's
Ah,
probably
man.
that because of that meme that's going around that's putting Linkin Park over various like
Oh,
classic
yeah.
film.
God.
Oh God, it absolutely would have been that, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Certainly.
So
Michael
much,
Bay's Saban's Power Rangers.
so much spiky hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Aaron, as it is your first time on Good Brews, Bad Views, we have 3 questions that we always ask our first-time guests. So,
Okay.
question number 1, what is the first movie you can recall seeing in theaters?
This is kind of a trick question for me. And I'm going to say 2 parts in this just because, one, I have to actually ask my mom later if this is verifiable. So, I have vague memories of seeing Star Trek 4 in the theaters. But I don't know if that's just a made-up memory or not, because I would have been 3. So the legitimate question that at least I know I can remember is going to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, for the first time with my cousins back in '89.
Excellent.
So,
Okay, yeah. I mean, vague memories count, but yeah.
okay, yeah. I for some reason I don't know that's lying to me. The only other thing I can link to that is the fact that I somehow at that age confused Starship Enterprise with Jefferson Starship. So who the hell knows?
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Question number 2, and this is probably the hard one for you. What's the first bad movie you can ever recall seeing? A movie that you were just unsatisfied with, that movies weren't always a good experience.
Star Trek 4.
It's an even one. It's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
The one actually that I absolutely remember specifically just wanting to be the hell out of there was Sidekicks, if anybody else remembers that.
Sidekicks. What is Sidekicks?
Sidekicks was, I think his name was Jonathan Brandis, so he was the kid off of Sequest, and he did a ton of other things too.
Oh, wow.
Rodney Dangerfield's Ladybugs is the only other thing I can think of him about.
Jesus.
Oh boy, that's a
Yeah,
filmography.
That's a deep
Yeah,
cut.
I mean, like I said, it's kind of sad, and unfortunately, he did commit suicide. So sorry to put a dour on that, but
Ooh, all right.
no, this was him playing a bullied kid in high school who decides to learn karate. But the thing is, he keeps having daydreams about being Chuck Norris's sidekick or Robin.
Okay.
Up until the point where he gets into a tournament that's being judged by, or at least overseen by Chuck Norris. and somehow becomes his best friend there. And I don't know what it was about that movie, but my eyes were just constantly rolling into the back of my
Was
head.
Chuck Norris actually in it?
He absolutely was. He was in every dream sequence, just Chuck Norrising it up. And this is before I even really knew about his extended filmography.
Oh.
I just sat there going like, what's the guy with the doofy mustache doing in here?
That very much sounds like a movie that like a 9-year-old would make up and being like, "I'm bullied and I'm gonna be friends with Chuck Norris," and then eventually
absolutely
at the end,
was.
I meet Chuck Norris.
Except, you're dealing with a kid who is absolutely a teenager at this point, which
Of
makes
course.
it weird. And all the other kids, the teenagers around were going like, dude, come on. It's like, I kind of hate to agree with you, but yeah.
From this description, I'm kind of getting like a Super Fights kind of energy.
Yeah.
A little bit there.
Yep.
Just a little bit, so.
And last but certainly not least, because we do talk about beer on this podcast from time to time, Aaron, what is the first beer you can remember having that showed you that there was more to beer than American Adjunct Lager? Something beyond the Bud Miller sphere.
Oh, yeah, and I should preface this because Max would know this around there being off of our other projects, but I'm actually not that much of a beer drinker. Hops and I just don't have a good relationship, let's just say. It never tasted good. However, it's actually been fairly recently, last 4 years, 2018. My friends and I went down to Oklahoma, where in Edmond, Oklahoma, there is a place called Prairie Artisan Ales that specializes in sour ales, and I found I actually like those. And
Nice.
lo and behold, the first one I actually tried was locally available here. So that was Prairie Artisan Ales Rainbow Sherbet.
Oh,
So,
I actually just had that beer like less than 2 hours ago. We grabbed some food and beers before recording, and that was on the menu, and I was like, ooh, give me one of those. And
Nice
yeah,
choice.
very good beer.
yeah. And lo and behold, that's what I will be drinking tonight. So as we
Perfect,
go
perfect.
through this, because I found it appropriate because multicolored
you go.
tokusatsu heroes.
Yep. I was trying to find a colorful beer to drink along this episode, but we wanted something light for today, so that's what we have. So we'll get into that later, though. But yeah, that's Prairie makes some great stuff. They've been getting more distribution up here, both at beer bars and local liquor stores, and they make some good stuff. It's been on the pricey end for their stuff, but I think you definitely worth the money for their stuff.
Yeah, like so you can usually find some deals, some stuff. We like we found 4-packs for pretty decent prices, but if you get they do something really special. Yeah, you're right. It absolutely does kind of cost you an arm and a leg, unfortunately.
Yeah, but get what you pay for.
It's the cost of the terminal velocity it takes to escape Oklahoma.
You're not honestly wrong, but
Yeah.
I could go to Oklahoma for a while, and I will not. So
All right, so as previously mentioned, today we are watching Saban's Power Rangers. We are going to be recording a commentary track alongside watching this movie, in which we talk about what we like, what we don't like, the weird choices this movie makes in the trying to have it all as far as themes and who it's for, drinking some beer alongside of it, and hopefully just having a good old time as we reminisce about our childhood and hopefully don't have too many bad flashbacks about it.
PTSD.
Yep.
oh god, the Megazord, not again.
The podcast is designed to be listened to alongside watching the film, but in the event that you're just here for the audio experience, we'll be doing our best to narrate what is happening on screen so you can follow along at doing whatever it is you do while listening to podcasts. And also maybe reliving your childhood based off of our descriptions of what's happening on screen. Ryan, why don't you tell the folks at home where they can tune their sets?
Yes, Max, I will do that. First, our usual reminder that if you don't have the time or patience to listen to today's entire recording, please check the episode's description for the timestamp you can jump to catch our wrap-up thoughts on the film, on our childhoods, on our beers, and whatever Power Rangers trivia we learned from Mr. Aaron during today's session. But we are tuned, as it were, to Amazon Prime. We are at 21 seconds in. We were 20 seconds in a moment ago, but our setup hiccuped a bit. But we are 21 seconds in. The Lionsgate logo has mostly faded from view. So if you're going to watch along at home, press play now. Now, is it Saban?
Saban.
So yeah, Saban was how I always
Saban.
thought it was pronounced.
Saban, yeah, this I was joking before we started recording. Yeah, this guy is absolutely responsible for a lot of childhood things, but also screwing over a lot of things. And not to get too much of a digression, but there's an interesting documentary that just recently came out about them trying to do an Americanized Sailor Moon because
Really?
that stuff was recently found.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
wow.
So we open with Planet Earth, the Cenozoic era. So again, dinosaurs. Theme of this season of Good Brews, Bad Views.
I guess.
A volcano has
As
erupted.
Delta.
I do like this quick pull away from the Red Ranger's helmet, which we saw like the volcano in reflection of. And things are not looking good for the Power Rangers.
Oh no, it's fine. It's good. They do battles like this all the time. You know that ship's only crashing for a reason. So.
I do like that he jumps for some reason there. Like jumps forward.
Action!
Yeah.
I think this is kind of interesting too because there's really only a couple series that have kind of, or one series I can think of, Lost Galaxy, that actually ever covered ancient Power Rangers. So doing this for the original group or the Mighty Morphin Powers essentially is interesting.
Well, it gives a backstory for why the Power Rangers are on Earth.
Yes.
So
and there's actually reasons, or I'm not sure if they say it in there because it's been a hot minute since I've seen this movie last.
So we have Bryan Cranston as Zordon, who's burying the power coins, and planting the seeds for the future.
Like buried in the past.
Literally. So here we have Rita Repulsa, which we see that she has like the green coin, which I can't remember. Was she a ranger in the original series? I know she was just like evil and trapped on the moon.
Didn't think she was.
No, she was just an evil witch by Power Rangers lore, and she had access to the green coin, which was their storyline basically to kind of put in the Green Ranger or the Dragon Ranger from what they originally pulled from Zeo Ranger. So, but this actually, honestly, I'm okay with this because this actually is a logical link.
Yeah, it kind of it's a good explanation for why there's the familiarity between the hero and villain, or the villains and the heroes, and I think it's a fine little opening we have.
So,
it worked out. Interesting inclusion of the Zeo Crystal at the beginning because that's like heavy lore wise when you get into original Power Rangers.
I like that transition.
Yeah,
the light becoming the center of the doors.
Yeah. So here we have some high school teens smuggling a cow into a locker room. It feels like a very this is a prank that high school students play.
I mean, I will admit, being in the Midwest or around more rural high schools, I never saw one cow-related prank around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Try harder.
I mean, I'm more of the in the city, but I lived far out enough where I could assume that would have been a situation.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
At least once.
Also, I did not expect the Power Rangers movie to start off with a cow.
Cow penis joke?
Cow penis joke, yeah.
Yeah.
Very unexpected.
I mean,
Tom Green just sprints into frame. Look, Daddy, I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
I also did not expect the Power Rangers movie to open with this kind of cool of a shot. I really like this.
Yeah,
Just
we got this continuous circular shot of them driving, the cops following them. No one in this movie can drive. I am terrified to get behind the wheel.
Certain teenagers, that's going to be applicable to.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be honest.
This also is where the movie begins to be like, music will play a heavy heavy role in this movie.
Yes. There's a couple times where I'm like, hey, is this band? But we'll get to that when we get to that. But this is interesting camera choice. I think it makes the scene stand out.
It's cool.
It makes it not be Fast and Furious.
Harder than I thought it was going to. So
yeah.
And homeboy flips his car here, so he is.
Oh God, I forgot. This is the guy who played Billy in Stranger Things.
Yep.
That's what I know him from, because he has a very familiar face. And then we have very dour, just Power Rangers logo.
Yeah, there's this thing like Power Rangers.
Not at all what I was expecting.
The action, you're not going to get it immediately, kids. Power Rangers.
Yep. Here we have Roy from The Office. He has the dad bod down pat.
Yeah, that dude. He was born looking like a stepdad.
Yeah.
No offense, my stepdad was great growing up.
Yeah,
I had a good one.
He was born with that beard.
that does kind of look a little like my dad too. So.
So Dad's upset. Ranger Boy here is jeopardized his football career.
That is the most unrealistic portion of this movie.
What?
Is that a high school star athlete that would have scouts coming to every game would not be able to get a college offer because he crashed a car.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that.
He also fucked up his leg,
Immersion
though.
broken.
He also did what?
He fucked up his leg. It's in a brace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that-
but
okay,
still,
that's-
someone
okay.
would have offered him something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Ah.
at least
Steroids.
trials for the.
Yeah. I assumed it to mean he was like permanently messed up in the knee, but maybe not. So we're getting he can hear the success of the sports, the pageantry.
So this is literally the opening of Breakfast Club. Like literally, like the dad in the pickup truck drops off the star athlete who fucked around and got caught.
Oh my god! If this recontextualizes this, I'm gonna be slightly mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Water cooler, hey.
Yep.
Yeah. They really try to make him look like Chris Pine in this movie.
They do. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I think it's the hair.
Honestly, part of it for me, Ryan, why I didn't think that the brace was that bad is that he doesn't move around with
He doesn't.
any-
Yeah.
he doesn't.
limp
He
or
doesn't.
whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a female student in the back of the detention. I'm like, hey, that's Maddie, but it's not Maddie.
All
Friend
right,
of the show, Maddie.
So we got a ginger dickhead here who just bumped into one of the other students who was OCD arranging his colored pencils here, doing some art.
So this is the first, I would say, change to the Power Rangers, because you see a black character in Power Rangers, you're like, oh, that is the Black Ranger,
Right,
because
Yeah.
that's how deep that series went in 1992
Yeah.
or whatever.
But thankfully it isn't. So he's.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Are we spoiling things ahead or?
Well,
just-
I mean, we'll get there in a second. That's well,
I love
Jason
this.
just Rick James big slap the bully.
Weird, right? After slapping.
Yeah. Was not expecting that slap. So.
And I know the tone here is way more serious, but at the same time, I was sitting there going like, "Is this a Vulcan Skull analog?"
Right.
Yeah.
I do like that they immediately walk in and Jason's just like, yeah, he messes up, but he's also just kind of a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense that he becomes the leader
leader.
down the road. He's not just like the jock, therefore he becomes leader. He becomes leader because he's actually like a decent enough dude.
Yep.
I mean, who did not fuck around a little bit in high school?
Mhm.
So
Apparently you, Max, earlier, Mr.
Yeah.
Goody Two Shoes.
Hey, some of us were just lame.
yeah, I
I
lame.
was very lame. I
Yeah, like I'm on
I
that.
keyed,
on
I
that
keyed.
page too, so.
No, Ryan did stuff, and then I got in trouble.
I was at one time and it was great.
So Kimberly is in the girls' room and she's being cut out of a photo.
Literally.
She's being
Literally.
mean. She's being mean girls right
Yep.
now.
Yeah. Kicked out of the cool chicks
I
club.
asked me my friends in high school. It's like, did they have you stab the truncated or the edit redacted picture on the bathroom wall?
Got Stalin out of a photo.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear Kimberly got redacted?
No, I didn't. That's why. That's how you know.
Yeah.
So Kimberly's like, time to now cut my very obvious wig.
Still in the girls' room. She's like, screw this.
So the only way this could have been less subtle is if she tattooed damaged onto her forehead. But we're not in that movie. We did that movie years ago.
Yep.
I mean, and this is another thing that I find an interesting comparison to the original series is that if you watch the original one, everybody is just over the top stylized goody goodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing every public works project around here, and instead, we get the Breakfast Club instead.
Yeah. I think it makes them a little bit more, I don't want to say relatable as characters, but they feel the movie, I think, as we'll elaborate on as we go on, like tries to really flesh out these characters more than like being Power Rangers. They each have their own personalities. A couple of them get way more screen time than others, but they each have their distinct traits.
Yeah, and it's again definitely stronger, obviously, for the movie various with the show, which you're just kind of hitting archetypes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
So Billy has followed the other guy whose name I can't remember.
Jason.
Jason out of the school. He's like, hey, man, we got to hang out. I promise it'll be worth your time. I can fix your fucking ankle jewelry here.
Yeah. Jason is apparently under house arrest, so Billy is very obviously on the spectrum. He I was wondering if the movie was going to acknowledge it, and it does, that he is autistic.
Yep.
and I'll actually say for just kind of coming from a career where I've actually worked with kids specifically with autism, the movie actually kind of went out of its way to be far more respectful towards that.
Good.
And not
Yeah.
taking it because they could have done like the awful thing that was done in The Predator. So with their one autistic character, which if you've not seen that, but
Oh, you're right. He does have his knee in a brace. Probably don't notice it later because of what happens. So
Yep.
So Jason's in his room. He's
Then
like,
he also does get on his bike though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
is this the White Stripes?
Yep.
after
Yeah.
Because so again, like with music, like even if you don't know the bands, these
it fits.
no, they all
Yep.
sound like bands that people in high school would listen to, even if you don't know the songs.
Like that Billy's mom is a stan.
Yeah.
Billy's mom's a Jason Stan. Yeah.
So I was really, really impressed. So the actor is R.J. Seiler that plays Billy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's phenomenal in this movie. Really, really, really fun the whole time.
Yeah, they give him a lot to do in this movie. Like I would say he is the star of the film. If I had to put it on a male lead,
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So he at least had the most interactions. So
Great house. So Billy's just kind of exposition dumping his life story here, just simultaneously fixing the ankle bracelet here.
the
Yep.
house arrest bracelet. Like he's doing the sort of the autistic sort of like I'm just
Like,
kind
I
of
know
like going.
I've got this. It doesn't
I
matter.
got this, but it doesn't like
Yeah.
like he's lacking some of the social cues. He's obviously not stressed that in the situation that Jason is in. What you would it's not a high tension scene if it was any other film.
Jason hugs Billy, and then Billy's just like, "Can you please stop touching me now?" And the delivery very much made me laugh.
Yeah.
and that's that again going back to the realistic interpretations of autism. You have people that like that were kind of like, I'm not sure what's happening, or I don't relate to that
What's
too,
going
which is
on?
good. It's
Right.
not something that's obviously over the top. So
So Billy had a car.
A wood-paneled station, or just a wood-paneled minivan,
Jason
which like
driving,
nothing
no?
says high school more than like a high school student like driving in a wood-paneled minivan or a minivan.
So this is something that's interesting to me as well about changing the setting from Angel Grove to being some like obviously California or San Diego or LA adjacent city to like an eastern mining town.
Well, it still is California. You can say that from Jason's shirt, but like they worked into the fact that there are gravel pits in Angel Grove.
Yep. Yeah, it's the Cascadia Mining Company, so I took it as more of like a northern California city.
Okay, that would
Fair.
make sense.
That makes sense too. Although also thank you for also recognizing the importance of gravel pits and tokusatsu. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, growing up watching Power Rangers, it's like, wow, Angel Grove is nothing but abandoned buildings
Yeah.
and gravel pits.
yeah,
It's like
the
Team
Abandoned
Fortress
Warehouse
2.
Sisters.
Yeah, I do like he just walks off here. Well, bye.
Yep.
Bye, Billy.
Yeah, like this is weird. So
Yeah.
Yep. And Billy's just like, all right, yeah, cool.
I got my stuff to do here.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're both good.
So over on our end, it's September, so it's time to drink Oktoberfest. We have Witch's Hat Oktoberfest, a Marzen-style lager, something very drinkable, and light, and just it's a tasty beer. More on that later. So here we see a couple more of the soon-to-be Rangers. One obviously wearing black and one wearing a lot of yellow, so obviously that's how we know who they are.
Yes. Doing yoga while listening to
Death metal.
death metal.
Yep.
Yep.
Death yoga, you know.
But again, like, I don't know the metal band, but I'm like, oh yeah, like that's metal people listen to in high school.
Yep. Jason's like,
Just,
heard a noise.
can't leave them out here.
Mm-hmm.
I heard skinny dipping.
Yep.
My hormone
that-
sense is tingling.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
that
in,
would be more of the.
I'll say it's
Oh,
like
no,
in
seriously.
the Power Rangers live action movie where Ivan Ooze can smell teenagers.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Obvious
CGI
terrible
dive.
CGI dive.
What do you mean I can't cliff dive? What do you mean that there's a safety clause?
Yeah.
That's some of the worst CGI in the film is that.
Yeah.
I do like that the movie. So Jason's like, all right, I'm gonna save you, because she's not come back up yet.
Yeah.
So you think that he's gonna jump in after her, but no,
Yep.
she's just out.
Yeah, that's a nice little subversion. So
Yeah.
But again, like you see him like looking out for people.
Yep.
So this is a great little back and forth of like, you know who someone is, but you don't really know them,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is like describes a lot of like high school relationships.
Oh,
of,
absolutely.
like you either been going to the same
Yep.
school for a number of years, so you're like, oh yeah, we're in class together, but I'm
Yeah.
not actually friends with you, but I know your
Yeah.
name at
Yep.
least. Which like that kind of relationship, I guess, continues a little bit into college. Like you know people from your classes, but you don't actually know them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that happens at work too. Like, there's a lot of people that you know from
Oh, yeah.
work, but you
but
have
yeah,
no
you'll never
idea who they
socialize
are.
outside
Yeah.
of that. So
You're like,
Yeah.
I nod to that person, or I
Yeah.
say hi to them
That
in the
per-
coffee
yeah.
line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really think about it like in that context. But
But yeah,
work relationships are weird after the pandemic or whatever.
yeah,
so.
for sure. That's much
Mhm.
much tighter in high school. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about, Max. Where it's like, that's the girl that I have in 3 of my classes, and I know her name, but I've never spoken to her once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you like randomly reconnect with them a decade later on Twitter or Instagram or something like that.
Yep.
You're like,
like,
oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
kind of do. So
So Jason and Kimberly they're no longer moist. Jason wasn't moist.
demoist.
They're just chatting. They're like,
so
Just walk through a giant thing of silica packets.
well, that's just generalized Hollywood drying. So that
Yeah.
get that reality, that'd be great.
that's plot desiccation.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
desiccation via plot.
I do like this will they, won't they that the two of them have.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Billy's doing science. Mining
Or
science.
setting a bomb.
Yep. I mean, mining science literally is exploding bombs.
Yep. And he hits the button, the detonator.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite go. And he
Yep.
finds his
That
loose
works.
wire and blows himself up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Billy
positive.
set us up the bomb.
And of course, Jason and Kimberly heard it, came
Yep.
rushing, and the other
And then there's
the other
Zach.
dude. Yes.
So
Billy's yelling because his ears are busted.
and then enter Trini being like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Yeah. So we see our characters come together for the first time.
I do love that the strip mine is basically where all the teenagers go to hang out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from this first, what are we, like 20 minutes into this movie at this point,
Hmm.
more or less. Like they are all outcasts in one way or another. We haven't been told why some of them are, but we kind of get that vibe from them. You know. So.
I
Like
know
you're
it-
saying, Aaron, they're not like doing all the community projects. They're not hanging out at the juice bar
Oh yeah.
doing martial arts and such.
Yep.
Ooh, shiny.
I did appreciate that the movie just assumed that Trini survived that fall.
Yeah.
She did not.
Yeah, it was It was a perilous one.
The lighting in this next couple sequences are kind of weird because this just looks like a big wall of obsidian.
Yeah. Which, given the effects of how they're utilizing the powers or what's here, I guess it fits the design they're going for. But yeah,
I mean they're not like actual like coins like we watched growing up. They're like like
jewels.
You could call them. Yeah, they're more like jewels. More like there's the Silmarillions.
The Cimmerals.
Yeah.
Power Cimmerals.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what is a Silmaril but a morphing coin?
That is.
As someone who has performed archaeology, I can tell you that this is not how you do it.
It's okay though. It's technically mining, so the kids are fine.
Yeah.
It's not archaeology; it's mining. You're allowed to be more violent. Apparently, there was some road work being done around here in Michigan, and they found a mastodon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our state fossil.
They just uncovered. They hadn't covered a rock band.
Yeah, yeah.
There they are.
Good rock band, that.
Are you guys sleeping in the ditch? We don't know. We're tired.
So the authoritas are inbound.
Yep. Corporate security.
Scatter!
Okay, I am glad that they gave the true teenage experience of just piling into a car trying to get the hell
into
away.
a van.
Yeah.
Into your mom's van.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're in high school, you can't afford a van.
Billy's like, you're just
Especially
going to
not
leave
that
everybody?
Again, people
What
are in
public buses?
cars. No one is safe.
Now it's time to power drift this
Yeah,
van.
this van is doing Tokyo drift moves.
Right.
Can you imagine being like
Initial
the stunt
ratings.
driver for this movie, being like, "All right, we need you to take this
Power drift this van.
van and drift it across this dirt road."
I do like this. You drive. I don't drive.
He's like Constantine. He doesn't drive.
Yeah. I was waiting for the like, oh no, the van door closed and crushed my hand moment.
Yeah.
Like every other piece of reality.
Yeah.
The Ocean's 11.
Yep.
Or Bob Hoskins on Super Mario Brothers.
God.
Oh yeah.
So they picked up Kimberly and Trini.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like,
They're
they're like,
It's-
yeah,
Zach is somewhere.
Yeah.
like,
Where's the other guy?
screw Zach. He's fine.
I think he went back to the boxcar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see Zach running around along the rock ridge line, and then we hear a whump, and the roof caves in a little bit, and Zach's on the roof.
See that I will admit that scene was a little confusing because you couldn't tell where the hell Zach was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running through the forest or
Yeah. So here we have the one thing I remember from driver training they tell you not to do
Yeah.
that the teenagers obviously are now trying to do.
Just racing a train, man.
Yeah.
I
you're
do,
immortal. You can beat it.
yeah. I do like that the train driver does what all train drivers love to do when they come near anywhere where people live. They just hold
Honk,
their
honk.
horn down for
Yeah.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. See, and then the minivan is hit by a train.
Yeah.
Yep.
No car in this movie is safe.
Nope. After he hits them, he continues to blow the train like a good train driver.
Yep.
Or blow the horn.
I forgot how short this movie was. Cool.
Yeah. In the arms of an angel, Power Rangers are killed.
Good cut.
Meanwhile,
Highway,
on the
it's a
deadliest
lot
catch.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't expect the train to hit them. I was not.
Yeah, I did not either. I expected like that
appreciate
nick
that.
of time, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't believe we made it out.
Exactly.
This movie does some surprising things. I will
It does.
give it that. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Oh wait.
So it's
Remember-
it's nighttime. We're on the
Yep.
fishing boat here.
Yep.
That's a awesome looking body.
It's great.
Yeah.
It is. So, but I forgot that they basically just pulled
The crypt
Rita
keeper.
up from the depths like Dio's coffin.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, There is no way on earth that fishermen in the middle of a storm keep the dead body they pulled out of the water.
It is overboard in
They'd
half
be like,
a second.
well, good thing we didn't catch any dead
from
bodies
the sea
tonight.
you came,
Yeah.
from the sea you shall go.
Yeah.
Yep. So Jason doesn't. His brace is broken. His pants are ripped. He's got the Riverdale bod now.
He's got Spider-Man bod.
Yep.
Yeah.
With abs.
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
fine.
God, I really didn't realize that trope was in effect until we actually really saw it.
Mm-hmm.
All the Rangers are
Which is
waking up.
interesting
Yeah.
because again, for a lot of Ranger series, especially the early ones, civilian powers were not a thing. It was just
Yeah.
in the suit and nothing else, and it was only until I say more the Disney era stuff where you finally started to see that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I remember like they had like we always saw them like doing martial arts or training when they weren't being Power Rangers, so it made sense that they could fight or they were fit or they were gymnasts and stuff like that. But
yeah, not having
I mean,
like super strength or
these guys got
into the
fucking
sex
cum gutters.
factor.
But yeah, like they definitely have like the superhero sort of like what's happening to my body kind of thing.
Yeah, that's little.
Yeah, like randomly breaking stuff.
Yep. I like this one.
Thinking of you, shit. The largest no 17-year-old has text that size on their phone. That's like old people size text.
That is my grandma's phone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Also, I love
it's
that when she.
it's a computer
Okay.
interface on a movie Max. There's no real computer interfaces in movies.
Yeah.
I love that when she also started cracking her phone. It basically you could see the battery acid coming out. It's like, oh, this is affecting me.
Yeah.
So the ginger bully's just like, I'm gonna silently snap your wrist, and tries to. Looks like he's about to pass a kidney stone.
Yeah.
And
Is this-
Billy's like headbutts Billy and then like gets knocked out by his own stuff.
And Skeet Sheeran is down.
Yeah. And the reaction from the people around him is very high school like, and all the girls
Yeah.
are like, "Hi, Billy." And he's like, "Yes, I am now hot
Violence
shit.
is what I want.
Billy's like, I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
I have gone up 3 tiers on the social ladder of high school."
Just by standing here and doing nothing.
Yeah.
So Kimberly has the same style of shirt throughout the whole movie. It's got like a collar and then like a couple like a strand on the middle and then
Mm-hmm.
one on either side.
I mean, she's got a little bit of a gothy vibe to her. I mean, she
Yeah,
has
just a
a
shade.
picture of Edgar Allan Poe in her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Down goes, I can't say that word. I like that. from
Yeah.
him.
So Kimberly sits next to Billy. He's like, "Oh, hello, Kimberly Hart,
Yeah.
obvious
So
super
all
popular
the-
girl."
All the like nerdy guys are like, "Wait, what? What?
Yeah,
What?
what
What?"
just happened?
Yeah.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Constantly.
Oh, she has her
her coin,
pink coin.
gem, her Silmaril.
Yep. Everyone has their Danish out.
Yeah, they're. It's the holidays already.
Space Danish.
I almost got Super Space Machine from New Holland.
Oh, Tangerine Space Machine?
No, Super
Super
Space
Tangerine
Machine. It's
Space-
like
yeah.
a double IPA version of that one,
Yeah.
but I was like, that's a little bit too much.
I like
So,
this scene. This is cool, where they start just melting everything on the...
Yeah, the coins are hot.
This is
Yeah.
the interesting thing about how they're notifying it's representing the powers is something far more uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cut
Yeah.
back to the docks.
Meanwhile, in Deadliest Catch.
Meanwhile, on Strangely Ethical Fisherman...
Yeah.
You can check her out. Only 2 of us had sex with her.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
So
mouthing
we-
off to the cop. Nice.
Hey, yeah, and also, just point of fact is, the fishermen usually don't want the fish to be, like, immediately dead in their boat. That's bad for business.
Yeah.
That might be not why you're not quite making it there, pal.
Yep.
The cop drops down to the.
I like the fact they only sent one out for an actual reported dead body.
Yeah.
This poor bastard.
It's the inciting incident. The inciting incident always has one person.
That's
You've played enough Delta Green to know that, Aaron.
that is technically true. Yes. So.
Ooh, green sparkly eyes.
Yeah. Do you like that quick cutaway? We see the Rita wake up and it cuts away.
I like we got a mild Evil Dead moment there too.
Yeah. So is Rita like those boats they pull out of the water where because they're in deep ocean they haven't been exposed to oxygen, and so the moment they pull her out, she suddenly begins to like reanimate.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's how aliens work.
Yeah, like those boats they pull
Instead
out
of
and
just
have to keep.
immediately decompose.
Yeah, they have to keep it in water because it'll just like immediately decompose.
Oh man.
So
So that reminds me of another story later on about like actual stories about actual bodies still being in the Edmund Fitzgerald. They're basically preserved.
So with the group's back at the mine. Everyone's wearing their required color because that's how these things work.
Yep. Hey, this is a secured area, but we're just going to keep yelling.
Yep.
That might be the second worst CG in this.
Oh, her climbing up
Trini
that wall.
scurrying up the
Yeah.
mountainside, the quarry side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's got good. Everyone can climb real well.
Yeah, this honestly watching them climb up there though did feel very like old school cheesy, like what Americans think of Japanese movie.
Mm-hmm.
Looks
Yeah.
like.
It's, undercranked.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that very well could have been what it was.
it could have been an
Undercranked,
homage
yeah.
to that.
'Cause
Yeah,
it looked like people actually climbing. So, and it didn't look that precarious that you wouldn't believe it.
So Trini doesn't want to be around anyone and just leaps across a very large drop.
Yeah. So Zach's kind of the
bad boy.
well, yeah, like the fearless bad boy of the group.
Now we get another good turn of the soundtrack.
Yep. And he just like clotheslines her when he
Yeah.
lands.
Yeah.
Which
I got it.
obviously is the way you should be courting anybody you like. So.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Close lining them.
Fucking Billy.
Billy's like,
His
nah, man.
expression.
How do you guys feel about? I mean, so obviously they're doing like the Spider-Man jump from Spider-Man with starring Sam Raimi, or sorry, directed by Sam Raimi. How do you guys feel about how like they're like moving in the air, like their limbs and such?
I'm fine with that. They haven't done this before.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least doing the line of it's like getting used to abilities. They're there.
Yeah.
Billy's psyching himself up. Your mom will be alone.
He's rationalizing all this. Like, am I gonna jump? Am I not gonna jump?
Yep.
Billy, you're right. Honestly, looking at this again right now, he honestly is the point of view character for the majority of the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's so much focus on like him jumping through. He's like, his legs are going like all which ways.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oh,
right on the edge.
really?
Yeah.
Rib cage to the side there.
Yep.
The only way I think I would have ever done this differently is that he would have made it, but just really overshot everybody.
And then Billy falls backwards.
Well, as he's celebrating, he falls into the pit.
As he as he does a dance that we will see later in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Did we just kill a dude? What do we do now?
Yeah. I honestly thought Billy was just going to jump back up.
Yeah,
Here?
or he could fly
That's-
or something like
That's
that.
what I
or-
figured. That he would just jump and grab the thing.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Zach, we always see is the first one who jumps into things.
Yep.
Yep.
I did like this.
Yep.
So Trini is about to walk away.
Yep.
Yep.
She's angsty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why you don't have a water bottle.
Yeah.
Kimberly asks for a sip of the water. Trini comes back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm really sorry.
Just grabs her and jumps in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sploosh.
Yep.
Into a underwater cave.
God, it really was the Goonies water.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is a big wet kiss to the 80s a lot of the time.
Yep.
This shot, it makes it look like the water is like an eyeball. I don't know if that was intentional. Looking down into it.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, if
So
anybody ever did that to me, given my own feelings about heights, if I survived it, I would be drowning them immediately.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Jack's like,
So-
I'm black.
So we have this underwater sequence while Explosions in the Sky plays, which I was like, all right, that's a very fitting music. for
Yeah,
this
again,
scene.
like bizarrely good soundtrack in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, just like weird, like was not expecting like notable bands to be doing soundtrack, doing. You know,
I think this is, well, it's kind of another thing with the. I have to go back to it, but I'm pretty sure like the first Power Rangers movie was using popular tracks at the time that they paid money for.
Buckethead was on that soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
As an ex-swimmer, I appreciate Trini's form. Everyone else needs to get back in the pool.
Well, she's from Hawaii,
Yeah.
Okay.
so that's how you know she can swim.
Yes. Everyone else doesn't know what they're doing.
This is just a simple but effective camera trick, right? Just turn the camera sideways.
Oh yeah, I do love this if nothing else, but also because I love the movie The Abyss with an unreasonable amount of joy.
Yeah.
So.
So the only thing that I wish they would have done in this shot is CGI'd the bubbles to be going the other
Agreed.
way.
Yeah, because they can tell. Yeah.
Or just not have them at all.
Or just not have them at all. Yep.
Yeah, just having still.
It messes with what the effect is supposed to be,
Right.
in my opinion.
Agree.
Yeah, especially when if they're turning it now, it kind of ruins the effect a bit. So.
But otherwise, I like this. This is cool looking. Like they play with the camera well enough. To
Yeah, and
make this
that's.
look neat.
I mean, that's just
Well,
free.
you can see that
Yeah.
gravity's kind of messed up on the opposite side, so that
It
could kind
is.
of maybe make sense
Yeah,
of why the
yeah,
air's
that's
going
true.
the way it does. But I understand what your qualms are notified. So.
Thump.
notified.
And they all tumble
all
out of the
die.
water. Trini on top of Zach.
Sexy, sexy, sexy.
Feels like it's morphin' time.
Ugh.
Huh, yeah.
So,
So,
You breathe
ceiling
out here?
water.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rock.
Yep. So we're now moving into the command center, which I will say is like, what if someone took the Photoshop smooth tool over H.R. Giger's Alien set and just made everything smooth within the spaceship?
Yeah, this reminded me a lot of the Man of Steel spaceships.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a design choice that I wasn't really crazy about, and honestly, I know it's a little silly because you look at the original Power Ranger command design, it's like, well, that is retro Flash Gordon about as much as you can get, but
Yeah.
at least it had personality.
It always the retro one always reminded me of the Renaissance Center from Detroit.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this design feels a little too sterile and over serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I'll get into the suits later on as well when we see them again.
Well, you got some time because this movie takes a damn sweet time to get them in their suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this movie goes hard out of the gates. Like the first 20 minutes of this movie goes.
Yeah.
It's like we are stealing a cow. We are running from the cops.
Yep.
We're flipping a car.
We're flipping a
Yeah,
car.
just establishing characters and why
Flipping
they're
another
stuff.
car.
Flipping
Yeah.
another car. And then you get to about here. And it's
And
like
just slams on the brakes.
Yep.
Hard.
and we'll get to a point where there's so we're about to be introduced to Alpha 5.
Yeah.
It's just, well, I mean, we'll spoil it. I will be straight up honest with you. I hate the fact that Alpha 5 is just Patton Oswalt.
It's Bill Hader.
It sounds
Yeah.
exactly like Patton
Yeah,
Oswalt.
that was not Patton
Yeah.
Oswalt.
But I can see what you're
it
saying.
sounds-
It's
it
Bill
could be
Hader
a-
doing
yeah.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah,
yeah.
it sounds like Patton Oswalt to me. And I didn't realize it was Bill Hader. Like, it sounds so much like Patton Oswalt that I was like, this is not what I want out of this movie.
Yeah.
I
Also,
don't need
talking
it.
about the design. I didn't remember the command center becoming the lament configuration of all
That's what
sorts
I was
of.
like. This is smooth Giger.
Pinhead's going to show up at some point.
Yeah, we already did Pinhead in space.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched the fourth one? Damn.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did that. Yeah, we had the horror movies in space Patreon poll.
Nice.
So
Trini's being reeled in by Alpha 5.
yeah, so Alpha 5's got Mr. Fantastic powers.
Yep.
As well as Bug Eyes, which it's another design point that I know they're going alien, but it just looks so generic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't hate the head.
Yeah, I agree. I think the head looks kind of cool, but the
Yeah.
body is not.
Yeah, it's just there. Actually, I take that back. You know, the head reminds me of Batteries Not Included.
Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
Yep.
So Alpha 5 is just very excited to potentially have new Rangers here.
This guy sounds exactly like Patton Oswalt. It's blowing my mind. This is Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, I don't like the way that Alpha 5 is acted.
Yeah.
Sure.
They give him some of his like trademark lines, but like the way he delivers them, like completely changes the context. Like,
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
that's like the famous
Yeah,
Alpha 5 thing, and
Yeah, it's not like he's constantly worrying and being a mother hen in the situation and just anxious about everything. It's just that
he sounds
overly
much more
excited.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he sounds more Jewish in his delivery of him.
He's not Bert from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Those are words.
Yeah.
Oh, talking robot. You can trust me.
Yeah. He doesn't have that manic energy.
Yeah. I don't necessarily need him to have I just don't. It does make sense a little bit later as to why he's a little bit like this, but with the twist.
Yeah.
But
So
Also, design-wise, I'm just seeing this again now where the way they're doing the music, it really feels like they're trying to crib off of Tron Legacy.
I had that exact thing written down, and I was about to say it, Aaron. Thank you.
Sorry.
No. I'm glad I'm not alone. And they're like, oh, we're channeling Daft Punk from Tron Legacy in this
Exactly.
time.
And
Yeah.
it kills me because I love Tron Legacy to death. It's a favorite movie of mine, but this is just.
It even has like that same blue filter that movie does when they go into the grid.
yeah.
It does.
It's a very It's a very blue sequence.
Engage.
So they hit Zordon's power button.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're speaking their alien language.
Yep.
They being Alpha and Zordon.
So we find out that they're in a ship, and Zordon is trapped in the Matrix.
And that's another interesting change too. The fact that he's essentially just a consciousness copy of himself
Right.
instead of just being original story being a wizard trapped in some interdimensional time. But
Yeah, they're
which I know
trapped
is
in a
way more-
tube. The Zordon wall looks like those pin things from
Oh
the
yeah.
90s.
I used to
Oh,
love
yeah.
those things.
Yep.
which I think is a neat effect, but at the same time, it's been way overused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zordon's just like, this is them. I disappoint.
I do like how his face isn't like stuck in just one part of the wall. He's kind of like moving around.
Yeah,
when
he's got a
talking.
hemisphere of freedom.
Yep.
It'll be a little more dynamic, though.
Yep.
Oh, another bit of trivia. I don't know if you knew. Bryan Cranston actually worked on the original Power Ranger.
Really?
Yes, he did voice work on it for a lot of monsters, which, by the way, is one of the reasons why Cranston is.
So could you say that again, Aaron? You were breaking up there for a second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he worked on a lot of the series for voice work, and it's also one of the reasons why Cranston is actually Billy.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like that Billy is the one who will ask questions.
Yes, he's like, all right, I'll talk to the wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we see Billy doing stuff with visual cues.
Yep.
I don't dislike the particle effects that they use for
Yeah, it
like,
looks
the
pretty
big
cool.
hologram thing.
Yeah, no. All this stuff looks fine. Is the constant movement in the Zordon wall is what sells the effect for me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So we get some exposition here.
Yep.
So
Aaron, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Making sure because your
Yeah.
audio was kind of wishy-washy there for a second. So.
I forgot to ask in the opening. So did Zordon kill the dinosaurs?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I
Yes.
thought.
That
he
is
summoned
what,
the meteor.
That is what killed the dinosaurs.
Yep.
Was Zordon,
Which is-
not the Ice Age, as Arnold Schwarzenegger told us.
Which I will tell you, I am frustrated in which that meteor was nowhere near big enough to kill the dinosaurs.
Yeah. I mean, Earth already looked pretty fucked up by that opening, but yeah.
So,
Final
There's
nail in the coffin.
recently they found another meteor impact site, which is very closely assumed, or like was dated to very close to 65 million years ago, also, and it looks like there may have been a double meteor strike.
That I remember seeing
second
that.
one,
Yeah.
the K2 one.
So we
Okay.
have this weird horror sequence now,
Yeah,
which even from like the camera angles that are being used and
it's
the quick cuts.
different than anything else we've seen in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty intense.
Yeah.
This is
Talking about Evil Dead shots again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if anyone with that big of a forehead came after me, I'd be terrified
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a Peyton Manning
Fucking
forehead.
James Hurley forehead. Yeah.
just Helen Hunt bearing down on you.
Yeah.
Oh.
No forehead is safe.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I really do appreciate this movie's like that they weren't like, no, we can only call her Rita or
Yeah.
some like dumb
Yeah.
stupid like we need to reimagine Rita
Yeah.
Repulsa. They're like, nah, her name's Rita Repulsa.
Yeah.
Deal with it, boys.
I think it's because Saban is still alive and kicking and like has his hand on the scales of this.
Oh,
So-
absolutely, because you need brand recognition, so everything's exactly the same no matter what.
Yeah. With one omission. No Balkan skull.
Yeah, that is still bizarre, but I guess
I think
it's
in
so
the
depressing, it's too jocular for them.
yeah. I think in the end shot of the we'll get there in a second. I think there are two guys who look like Balkan skull. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
All in all, we're just another coin in the wall.
yeah. So we saw Zordon used to be the Red Ranger, and Jason's now the Red Ranger, so he's the new leader. Rita was the Green Ranger.
Pure evil.
Pure evil.
you're evil. You're evil.
It's like he's talking. It's like the way it pulses is kind of like a speaker.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, with the equalizer mode. Right?
Hmm.
So.
Zordon is just like
A
a
Winamp
a
skin.
Winamp skin.
Stop the Rangers. Play my song first, Zordon.
Her name is Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Trini.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trina's upset that Kimberly doesn't actually remember who she is and
Yeah.
where they know each other from.
Justly so.
Right.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy asked the important questions.
Yes.
Are we more like
Yes.
Iron Man or Spider-Man? Because I'm jumping like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I like that they're questioning, could any of this be real with all that's happened to this point?
Yeah.
I like one of the characters is probably realizing, like, are we all dead?
Yeah. Yeah, I will tell you that up through most of this movie, I was like, is this just like someone in a coma sequence? Like, were they going to play
They
with
all
something
died.
weird like this? Like, are they actually all dead?
No, they're all having the same collective dream because of the train accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this, Melrose Place?
It's a rat king of teenagers.
This ain't a Cronenberg movie.
Cut to the
Casa de Zach.
taking care of his mom.
Yep. So Zach's on the wrong side of the tracks.
Yep.
So, but again, like, is a good guy. Like, cares for his sick mother. And we get into the Breakfast Club sharing of the traumas.
Yes.
Soon.
The Festivus moment.
So Zach's mom's a little suspicious that Zach might not be sticking with school as much as he should be.
So here we have the Trini household, which Trini's dad seems to be a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, mom not so much.
Mom is like high-strung as fuck.
Yep, mom needs to pee in this cup.
Yeah.
Not her. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, dad's trying to,
this would be odd for me, but I've actually worked with parents like this.
So if Trini just tells the parents, yeah, we found a spaceship underground.
Yeah.
And her brothers are like, wow, cool.
Awesome. Can we go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mom has the drug pee cup at the ready.
Yeah.
Jesus, mom.
Yeah.
And again, I would joke, but I've seen parents like that.
Yeah. So Jason gets his truck back because his dad's like, you can be it's time for your redemption arc. Fix this truck.
Yep. Turn those levers.
Yep.
I mean, I'll give him the right lesson point on that. So
Yeah. So the cops arrive, not to see Jason, but his dad, because there was an incident on the boat, which was his boat.
Yes. There's been another murder on your boat. Also, it's full of water now.
God, this was dark.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking at the IMDb, and I see some of the OG Power Rangers in here, and
They are in the final scene.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, God, I forgot she was also Gollum eating fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything else,
Rita
I
goes
will
through like
not- I will
several.
not-
Oh, sorry. Continue.
no, I'd say I will not. I will not actually say anything bad about Elizabeth Banks. She's just going hard.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she's got a pile of gold teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, has like a weird Gollum speech phrase. Goes through several like visual changes throughout the course of the movie.
She has a Morbius number of different looks.
Yeah, but unlike Morbius,
They make sense. Yes. They're a progressively different set of looks.
Pretty violent silhouette struggle there.
Yes. Shadow boxing. Shadow murder.
Yep. So the Rangers have all returned to the quarry.
Yes. Foxgloves.
Go back to the quarry.
Is this a school day? Who cares?
Yeah. I like Billy's bear with boxing gloves on. Shirt.
Yeah. Billy's got great shirts. Earlier in
does
the
have
movie,
good
he has a
shirts.
hot dog, like,
Just jumping into a
jumping
bun.
into a bun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now the Rangers are getting the details, the rules.
I assume these rules would come into more effect.
Yeah.
During the
Plot-wise,
movie?
Yeah.
But they don't.
Masturbation
I
joke.
like his delivery.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got.
So this is again, it's interesting for the aspect of like you could only do it on base.
I think it's like this is how they're supposed to like initially just like sync up with it. So, but I don't know.
You might be right. So
They don't have morphers. They don't have the do 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 watches.
which is
Yeah.
mildly disappointing.
Yeah. Well, we have smartwatches now, so you know.
A legion of warriors. Lots of Power Rangers. It's a great way to sneak like possible sequels in right away,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I when we get further to the end, I think that, again they're trying to do something, especially with the inclusion of Zeo crystals. So
Yeah. 'Cause that was one of the series, Power Rangers Zeo.
yeah, because that was a MacGuffin that they had introduced when they were switching off the suits to conform with one of the other Sentai series that they were pulling from.
Yeah.
So Zordon and Alpha are like, well, I guess we'll have to train without armor, even though that sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pit is literally
walked
like
in.
where they just came in.
It's literally just the out
the,
front.
The foyer.
Yeah.
Welcome to the putty pit.
Yeah. So I do like the putty design. I like how they're not just like man-shaped things. They're just like rocks with too many limbs.
Yeah, and they're all pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice variety.
So Zach gets clobbered.
It's a hard light hologram.
Yeah.
From Red Dwarf. I've got 2 legs or 3 legs or.
All
So.
manner of multiple limbs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, more
Honestly,
popular
now that I'm
music.
listening to him, Bill Hader is sounding a lot like Patton Oswalt.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would have bet money that was Patton Oswalt.
Oh yeah, when I checked the IMDb for the sorry,
Yeah.
Billy just got slapped.
Yeah.
When I checked the IMDb, I was certain it was going to say Patton Oswalt for Alpha 5.
'Cause it sounds like it's just Patton Oswalt speaking.
Yeah. It, like a more nasally Patton Oswalt.
Yep.
Which he does a great job as Matthew in Sandman.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So
And they see each other in biology now.
Yep.
Now they do.
Nice. We have shots of training intercut with shots of school.
Yep. I was wondering if they were going to put him back out on the field, like, oh, I'm good now. I'm
Yeah,
feeling
because he
better.
doesn't have the brace anymore. So
Yeah.
That's one of the instances where it leads into Zordon's, tenets. Like you can't use your powers for bullshit. So
Yeah.
you can't go be super good at football
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Prepare
Yeah,
for
this-
fork-based combat.
/ flirting.
Yes,
Yes.
But it's a fun scene.
it is.
It is. Also continues
fun.
to show Kimberly's obsession with bralettes.
Yes.
Yes.
To the pit.
Can you imagine getting chided by a hologram wall?
Yeah.
So Alpha trying to teach everyone to suplex
Yeah,
a putty.
How
Yeah.
to suplex.
That is the apparently the putty weakness is being suplexed. Putties would
I mean,
not
I'm not
survive the
impressed
Christmas
unless they actually do
episodes.
it.
Mm.
No, the putties would be very weak for Christmas episodes.
This is a little it's silly, but I like this.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. We should start a band. But like you see, Billy's got a little
Yeah.
like band-aid above his arm,
Yeah.
or band-aid above his eye.
Yep. I just like that they're able to pass the notes back and forth to each other
Yeah.
because the teacher can't see it because they're throwing it so quickly.
fast, yeah.
It's a fun little trope.
Yeah.
And it also
It's-
shows that like gaining trust with each other, right?
Yeah.
Like they can throw it to them
Yeah.
until they're ready to catch.
And he fractured the bully's skull with the piece of paper, too.
Yeah.
Do you like that they just kind of get their shit wrecked?
Yeah. So Billy does
Billy things.
serial killer
Yeah,
tracking.
he's went to a full murder board.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Pepe Silva board.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's a murder cube.
Yeah. One wall was not enough. So I
And then
rolled
he-
my eyes at this as Billy finds out that the Zeo Crystal is beneath a Krispy Kreme.
Yes.
I really want to know how much money they gave him for this.
Yeah. Yeah, like I didn't know if is that like a hey, the like Saban really likes donuts or something like that? Like I
Oh
don't know.
no, that is Saban. Hiram Saban is a wheeler and dealer, so they were saying, "Give us money, we will
Yeah.
put you."
How much
up
money
at-"
would you like to give us to be the
I'm sure it
location
was-
of the MacGuffin
Yeah.
Okay.
in
Yeah,
this
no, that's-
movie?
Sure, there
Is
was a
Which
big-
was
100%
supposed to
of
like
all
launch a franchise.
Yeah, they really expected this to succeed, basically to be the new Power Rangers separated from Toei and Super Sentai.
Are they still making new Power Rangers, Aaron? Like
Oh,
TV
series?
series?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. The current one, Dino Fury, is based off of Sentai Real Soldier, and they're actually getting ready to. They just made an announcement on there. So, and they were now to the Zords. So,
Yes.
So they explain why the Zords are dinosaurs, which that's a cool explanation. The Zords take the shape of fiercest creatures on Earth. So
Except none of these like They're vaguely like the creatures on Earth at this
Yeah.
Oh
point.
yeah, they're very alien in this case too with
Yeah.
design. Which
Some
when
more
we
than
get to the
others.
Megazord, I'll leave my opinions to that because I have opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the mastodon is the most like alien looking because it has like
Yeah.
6 or 8 legs.
Yeah.
Which we
Oh,
see
yeah,
now.
Like,
Yeah.
And Zach's just like, I'm taking this thing for a ride.
Yeah, this is a very odd design.
It looks like the bugs from Starship Troopers.
I mean, it's much more beetle-like than.
or tardigradish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it does. That's actually a good call. Which, I mean, I guess based off your definition of most powerful.
Hey, we're talking about
So
nuns earlier.
another nuns in a van. This is like the 3rd time this season. We had it in Royal Rumble. We had it. Well, it was nuns in car. In,
Crime Wave.
Crime Wave.
Crime Wave, and now
Just a
Power
popular
Rangers.
motif, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But I had one issue, at least part of this movie, because it just I know what they were trying to do, but the editing on it felt so quick and weird. Like it's like you saw the nuns there. It's like are we just there for the joke, or no? We're back here now.
Just there for the
Are
joke.
they dead or not? We'll never know.
Fate of the Nuns.
Yeah, so Alpha goes ay ay ay, but it's more of like a sardonic ay 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 as opposed to the
Yeah.
manic.
Like the Jewish grandmother just saying oy vey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Punching.
So Rangers get angry and now they're punching.
Zach and Jason are
Yep.
slugging it out.
Billy.
Billy's hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Billy's like, no, I must be the mediary,
Yep.
and Billy has armor now. I do like this reveal.
I do. He is the most pure of heart, so he has now his armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which looks like it was dipped in one of those, like, things that people put around their laptops.
I mean, talking about like I actually just do some airbrush painting, and it very much looks candy coated.
Hmm.
Yeah, candy coating is accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
Zordon's such a whiny loser. In this
Yeah, I
movie.
know.
Get out.
Rangers. I am sad because I'm trapped in the afterlife.
Yeah. I'm mad because in the 11 days that you have to train, you're not serious enough about it.
Yeah. But it looks like he's about to shit his pants as he's trying to morph.
I mean, the first time.
You're not Rangers.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just let the universe get destroyed
Yep.
because
And
I'm
stay
sad.
dead.
Yeah.
I mean, Universal on Wii is something, I guess.
Mhm.
And then we get, so this scene right here as they're walking back, this whole movie feels like a very deliberate twist on the movie name just fell out of my head. Good Lord. It's the movie where they fall in the mine and become superheroes.
Oh, Chronicle.
Chronicle.
Oh,
That
all right,
was-
This is Chronicle, but with a Power Rangers lens over it, and this next sequence feels like, even that right there, the soft focus on the tree like feels like how Chronicle is shot.
okay.
Yeah. That was one of the only notes I took was a reference to Chronicle.
Yep.
Yeah, for the wrap up. Agree.
I'm gonna steal all your thunder, Ryan.
I have so little thunder for you to steal. How dare you?
I hacked your notes.
So here we see the reveal of Zordon trying to come back to life.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, like, they really hold off on Rita meeting up with the Rangers, so Zordon's, I don't want to say he's the antagonist, but he's the cause of tension for the movie for the first hour plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the curmudgeonly old
Dead wizard.
essentially, or the mentor who won't let them.
More like Go-Go Miser Rangers, am I right?
Oh,
Ooh.
he's got owned by a teenager. You damn ghost.
Yeah.
Jason's all, oh, I'm sorry, but your wife is dead.
Yeah.
Piss off, ghost.
Yeah.
that hits the hard drive.
It's the hard drive. Well
Yep.
played.
Yeah.
Right in the RAM.
Hello, I'll be right with you.
So,
No one-
Also a gold member.
yes, this movie is what if Goldmember from Austin Powers was a Sentai villain?
Yeah.
So we see that Rita has a jawbone full of gold teeth as part of her staff.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's so gross. It's
She
awesome.
is. She
Yeah.
looks great.
Good makeup.
Yep. Great practical makeup.
Yeah.
I like the fumbling for the secret alarm.
Yeah, for the,
Yep.
the silent. Snake, we better get the hell out of here. I think I hear one of them silent alarms going off.
Yeah.
So Rita eats a gold necklace, which I was
Not
doesn't
expecting.
make any sense considering what she does with the rest of it. But she
Mm,
kind
the
of like
heels, huh?
regenerates from it a little bit.
Earned by gold.
I feel like the lady's like, ugh.
Yeah.
She looks so great in all of this. I
Yeah.
really do. Checking her teeth.
Just checking her teeth. Yeah.
Yep.
Nope, only laminate fillings.
Yep.
Some Evil Dead vocal dubbing there.
Oh yeah, I agree with Aaron. That's very Evil Dead inspired.
No. So
Yeah.
Rita's just melting some gold back into her staff.
I love gold.
I have a problem with that. The law of conservation of math says that necklace should not have made that staff that big.
Honestly, if you're gonna watch anything Tokusatsu related or that power,
Yes.
you just have to get over that fact very quickly.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with all of that. It's just, I was like, I was waiting for her to do that. I just took it as like she started that and then just stole the rest of the gold
Yeah.
from everywhere else. I'm not. That is certainly not something I'm gonna pick on this movie for.
Yeah. So a cop shot Rita Repulsa with a shotgun, which is just as effective as when it happens in Dragon Ball Z. So Rita's staff can now hold the green coin, so she kind of gets a power up.
I do like now that the cop yells shots fired, and he's the only one
One who
firing
shoots.
shots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Typical. There was
Also,
some-
he is dealing with telekinesis. And
Yeah. She's got some very, very much some Dragon Age witch look going on right
Yeah.
now too.
Oh yeah, Morrigan.
Morgan.
Yeah, definitely has the
I-
Morrigan
I
look
didn't
right
realize,
now.
I didn't recognize the strategically placed top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like this quick cut to like, and how the building explodes and Rita walks away from it.
Yep. Rita killed a lot of people.
There was some good camera work, just interesting angles in the jewelry shop. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was a neat sequence, like when shoots
Yeah.
the fucking bullets, one of the guys got like hit in the hip.
Yeah. So this shot in particular, because it's like not quite in focus, and it's not quite handy cam also, but it's not quite clean shots as well.
Yeah.
This
A lot
is
of
where it
quick-
starts to feel chronically to me.
Yeah, it really does. So
These fast cuts between folks, it's a deliberate style choice in my opinion.
This was unexpected from Zach. He's like, maybe we can't do this because we don't know each other. Let's air our traumas.
Someone get out the aluminum pole.
Yep. But this is very much like the attic scene
Yep.
from
New Mutants.
New Mutants. Yeah.
Yep.
I still have to watch that. So
Honestly,
It's-
better than we all thought it was going
Yeah,
to be.
it's fine. It's an hour and a half and still feels like it's 10, 50 minutes too long. Maybe 100 minutes. I don't know.
I like it more than Max does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I just
fine.
kind of missed out on it mainly because
it
it was
was-
surprising because I was a huge X-Men fan when I was a kid. So
Mhm.
Yeah. It was not the train wreck I expected, or any of us expected it to be.
It is certainly not a train wreck. That's
No.
for sure. So Zach spills his guts.
Yeah, and again, it's another moment where the movie
Yep.
just kind of takes a left turn from what you expect to happen. Like, you don't expect Zach to be the one to initiate this and
Yeah.
just dive right in.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
he's obviously very lonely. He's afraid his mother's going to die. He doesn't have much friends, but he's like
Yep.
getting around.
This rules.
Billy likes country music. He's gonna become the next Little Nas
Yeah.
X.
And then
Again,
he tells a real one.
Yeah. He's like, I want to see this guy in more stuff. I
Yeah.
think he's an
Yeah.
excellent
yeah,
actor.
no, it's definitely a really decent actor. So
Yep.
Yeah. So we find out why Billy was in detention. He blew up his lunchbox, a lot like Brian set the locker on fire in Breakfast Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he passes the buck. And Kimberly's like, no, I'm not going to say why I did it. I skipped me. She pulls the Claire. Yeah.
So Jason Scott, tell us who you are.
Yep.
Well,
Keeps calling her crazy girl.
Yeah. Yeah, but she does spill the beans.
Yep.
Yeah, moves around a lot. And but I don't know, there's some sincerity about all these deliveries.
It is. I like this scene a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like the screeching halt like some of the rest of the movie has, which has had a lot more action to it. I think just because, like,
I like that girlfriend trope.
Girlfriend Troubles, yeah. There's only so much punching that you can see on screen for a little bit before it just feels like a screeching halt.
And like, yeah, they kind of just roll with all the stuff, and like this is like Trini's first like big scene.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it all feels very
really
like
much.
relatable. Whether or not you fit within this character's molds, you can kind of relate to it in some way, I think.
Yeah.
Especially like in high school when you're like figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
Trina reveals she's never said any of this out loud before. Which, if true, is a big deal.
Yeah.
And Billy tries to be like, hey, we're friends now. We're cool.
Yeah, fist bump.
Yeah.
Denied.
It's a good. I like that question there.
Yeah.
I do like that she puts that out there. Like, what are we friends, or is this just like
We're doing this
a connection we have because
We're drafted.
Yeah, because we got drafted. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a trauma that we're all just going through and then we're out of it, or
Yep.
what? Again, another cool scene here.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're going to give something for Trini to do as far as the story goes.
Yep.
Who arguably has had like the least amount of screen time, really.
Yeah, to this point, for sure.
Yep.
So, Rita, looking less gross,
Yep.
descends from the ceiling of Trini's room after having dripped gross-ass water on her face. I assume it's water.
Drool. I vote drool.
Yeah. At first, I thought this was Kimberly she was talking to, but I quickly realized it was not. They look kind of similar close up.
Yeah.
Similar complexion, dark hair.
I like the fucking intensity of this scene. They're throwing each other around into the walls. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great. I love her as Rita Repulsa.
Oh yeah, no. It's just if anything else, like she just knows. I appreciate that Elizabeth Banks knows the movie she's in and just plays it to the T.
This is Elizabeth Banks as
yes,
Rita.
doing a great job.
Yeah, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. You show me yours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very like honestly, in an odd way, her role that she took on in the Hunger Games, and being just kind of a somewhat ridiculous person a very ridiculous person in those movies, but then becomes serious. I think fits into her ability to do this.
Yeah.
Like Rita Repulsa is an inherently ridiculous character, but if you play her correctly, you can have a cool scene like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like her performance a lot and how much she leans into it. What I don't like about it is sometimes the accent that she kind of chooses is bad. I don't care for it, but it's a minor thing. Overall, I like how she plays it.
Just kind of, I guess the vamping.
Like how even Rita calls her the wrong name.
Yeah.
Part of me felt like
It's good fake out.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of me thought like, oh, is Rita going to make the same offer to all of them?
Yeah.
So Kimberly's in Jason's room. She woke him up.
Yep.
I think we're gonna learn
Yep.
what she deflected the other day.
Mm-hmm. We have a flip on the boy sneaking into the girl's room, girl sneaking into the boy's room.
We do.
So Kimberly has a risque photo on her phone of someone else, and then she spread said photo around, which is why her friends literally cut her out of her life. Snip, snip.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
This I thought this was a pretty. I think this was tastefully handled in a way to kind of like bring a contemporary problem to this movie.
Like
Yeah.
this is
scenes.
like
Yeah.
I can't relate to this issue because like by the time photo messages were widespread, I was out of college.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
same.
this was never a thing
No, thank God.
when I was like, yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah, like you're not like we're not part of the generations that's like literally living with every bit of our youth that's like transcribed to some form of media. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
but no, yeah, I agree with you. This is like handled in a way where it wasn't just weirdly exploitative, if that makes any sense. But
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to describe like you know what the photo is.
You don't need to see
you
it.
know, even a hint of what it is.
Yep. And I also like his line of just because you did an awful thing doesn't make you an awful person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you can learn from that. And
I'm here.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, she's real. Very real. Ooh, claw marks.
And she's got these nasty scratches on her face.
Yep.
She's beat up, which is cool. Like getting to see heroes get beat up, like actually beat up, is
Yeah.
something that you don't
I mean, they
usually
got
get.
pretty like
it
roughed up.
it kind
during
of gave me a
training.
shift over to actual the tokusatsu side with actual Sentai and Kamen Rider and whatnot. There's a lot of scenes where you actually see the heroes getting messed up after the side or sporting fairly brutal cuts or
Nice.
bleeds.
More than just exploding sparks.
Absolutely, yeah. Like there's an example, one of the ones that I was showcasing last week. One of the characters managed to get a fairly deep gouge in his neck that had to show he was healing from for like over 2 episodes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
mean, usually these episodes were of the show, from what I recall, were pretty like one and done standalones, except for like, you know, like big events like anything involving the Green Ranger or Tommy Oliver in general.
yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, unless you're right. Unless they were actually getting ready to do one of the shifts after, Mighty Morphin into the next series. Yeah, absolutely not. So it was always fairly episodic.
Yeah, Monster of the Week kind of stuff.
All right, so they're voting on whether or not to go take on Rita. Rita.
Because they're young and dumb, they're all saying yes. Not one of them can put their hand up the same way.
Yes.
They all have to have their own unique hand gesture.
Well, I like that Jason copied Kimberly. Pointing up to the sky.
Just going to get a bunch of chains and pipes.
More fighting.
This is just all your friends logging on to play the new Bad Dudes game online.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage or something.
Yeah.
Wait, are they playing Dying Light? What the hell?
Right.
This is them. Unfortunately, they're jumping into a Warzone game, and they're going to run into the guy who landed on the cache.
And then the Power Rangers beat up a homeless person.
Yeah, obvious trap.
Oh, no.
The dripping trope is. I like this.
Yeah. And that guy's dead.
Yep.
Yeah. So Rita Repulsa is now wearing what I like to call hella chic.
Ah, yeah.
Because this is also 2017, so same year as Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
It's like, give me a witchy black and green woman.
Oh, I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
the same year. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Fine. So, thinking at least about what the background they gave her is the original Ranger, too. It's interesting that they're kind of showing this off bastardized version of it now.
Yeah, I
Not
can't.
like
I can't recall the Rangers ever fighting Rita directly in the original series.
Yeah, no, Rita not specifically too. In there, Lord Zed, there was a couple fights 1-on-1. So,
Yeah.
and then with
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, and then like in Zio, I think like the Machine Empire and stuff. I think there was a couple one-on-one fights, but yeah, I don't think Rita was never that. But they had to actually shoot a lot of new footage because they ran through all of the original Japanese actresses
Oh,
footage.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, they made a very silly excuse of like, oh, we gotta do a makeover and make me young again. That's how they change out the actress.
Mm. Yeah. So Rita apparently knows Shibari, despite being trapped for 65 million years, but, whatever.
Good though.
Yeah. I like how she refers to them, like, just by their color as their name.
Yeah.
so she knows that Billy knows where the crystal is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Rita does the one of you will die kind of thing.
Yeah.
She's zappifying Zach.
Yeah.
It's a subtle thing, but I like how she brings all of her fingers down before she brings them back up to count down.
Yeah.
It just accentuates how like crazy her
Yeah.
claws look. It's just a good way to play with her character design.
Yeah. Yep. So Billy reveals the Zeo crystals underneath the Krispy Kreme.
Tell us how you really feel, Aaron.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Product Place is going to be all a while, but just hearing afterwards, like how many times we're going to hear Chris. Okay.
Yeah.
So Billy gets zapped and dropped in the drink.
Yeah. So I was surprised, like, that this next sequence happens. So Rita, mocking the Rangers, says they're not worthy, frees them from their bonds, and now the team has to rescue Billy. Which I was gonna be like, oh yes, they've saved him, but like, big surprise here. Like, Ryan, were you expecting the movie to take this turn? Or
Nope.
This?
I was not.
What about you, Aaron?
No, actually, I can't say I have. This I was a little bit surprised that they decided, like, oh, really? You're just gonna
You're just gonna kill Billy.
Knock the favorite character off. But, and this is why I think he's the main character of the film, arguably.
Yeah.
So, but definitely.
No, yeah, I agree because again, with everybody else who had a essential call to action or
Yeah, the hero's quest.
And Kimberly pulls the "we should start a band" note out of Billy's pocket.
So so the Rangers all lift Billy in unison. And again, like,
Super
high
sad
school music.
Yeah.
And then carry him all the way to the quarry, which, like, thank God they have superpowered legs, because
because remember, if you get a power coin, kids, you all lift.
yeah, every day is leg day when you're a Power Ranger. Yeah, but yeah, this is I would say the most unexpected turn. Like, I was not expecting this at all. I was expecting a close call with death, like we saved him just in time kind of thing. Not a full on we killed him.
But when they get out of this, it suddenly makes sense because it's a way to bring everyone together, not just the team.
Oh yeah,
but everyone.
They had separated Zordon off from so much, and
I told you weren't ready, and I also refused to help you get ready.
Yeah.
This is not my fault.
They should hold Billy up to the wall and have Zordon just give him a full body raspberry.
Get all those muscles.
Yes. Billy is so sad. Or Billy's dead, sorry. Jason is so sad.
Yeah, he is sad. He's sad because he's dead.
Yes.
The mighty moistened Power Rangers.
Moistened Power Rangers.
I'm really sad I can't use my soundboard right now.
Really?
Yep.
You didn't seem that angry, Jason. Like, I don't know. Like, this... I can't decide how I feel about the Red Ranger's performance in this. Like...
If you would have said I was so scared, I would have gone with it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't get a lot of his alleged anger.
No, we don't.
No.
At least not in what came out on the screen, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yep.
there were parts that were cut, or it didn't come to fruition.
No.
Yeah. Like, the team feels genuinely sad about, like, what has happened, but...
Sure.
They do. And then they all come together and say, "We'd all die for Billy."
Or for each other.
Yep.
Yeah. Hmm.
Does Alpha 5 ever get his own Zord in any of the shows?
No, he goes away. There's Alpha 6.
Alpha 6 is voiced by it's a girl version of Alpha 5. I think.
Yeah, it was a little bit, but it's instead of I, it was Jive talking, saying yo, yo, yo.
You're right.
Wow.
It was. I think that was like the Power Rangers in space, which is the end of the sort of like saga of the first couple seasons.
Oh yeah, no, that actually specifically described as the Zordon era. So.
Oh yeah.
So the grid is cajigulating.
Oh, you knew the power of friendship, so.
Yeah, he is literally saved by the power of friendship.
So Zordon can come back to life.
Yeah.
Zordon did the screamy thing and went into the nebula.
Did.
Yep, the lament configuration was opened.
Boom, and then the
wall face.
and then the bass drops, and you're
the bass drop.
movie rules. Only one can come back.
So Zordon sacrifices his opportunity to come back by allowing Billy to come back because apparently heaven is just
Magic.
a wall or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all the
The
Morphin
cube,
grid.
yeah.
yeah. It's the Morphin Grid. Is the Morphin Grid like the Speed Force? You can live inside of it.
Yes.
For all intents and purposes, yeah.
I mean, we'll see
basically,
what
they
happens
just
later,
didn't
so
say
yes.
it. It's that. It's the Speed Force. It's the Force. It's just everything.
So Zordon's like, there can only be one Red Ranger, but then Toei's like, what if we had like 25 of them at once?
Yeah.
That was a thing that happened a couple years ago, if I recall. Like, as far as like the big like anniversary of the Power Rangers, they're like, we're gonna have all the teams together.
10th anniversary for Power Rangers Wild Force.
Something like
They
that.
brought in the majority of the Red Rangers from the series. So
Wild Force, eh?
Yeah, they have the craziest names for the Power Rangers series.
oh god, I could do this if you want me to, but it's just gonna be embarrassing.
Well, we'll save that till the end, Aaron.
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll save your embarrassment for the outro.
fair enough.
Yeah.
It just does for sure say this is all a dream.
It does. Yep.
What if this movie was just one big Melrose Place
Oh.
of
I think
James
that's our-
looking at the Renaissance Center from a hospital bed?
I really think this is our indication that at least one of them is dying and dreaming this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the few moments where it really looks like blue screen
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
green screen.
Yeah, it's
The movie, for being 5 years old and a heavily CGI'd movie, it looks pretty darn good the whole time.
yeah, no, like they definitely put the work into it as they'll. It's just interesting again the fact that the transformation, or at least this initialization, compared
It's the
to
Iron Man nanosuit effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's again very much looking like what they would eventually put in for Iron Man's nano effects.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it looks good, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, thinking back to the original series, like, you never see them, like, get into their suits. They just kind of, like, appear in their suits.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
And then they have a rave.
yeah, they have, some strobe effects. Again with the Tron sound effect.
Yep.
I believe this was a trailer.
Yeah.
shot, like the end
It
of the
was
trailer.
too, but I know the other song. But yeah, this absolutely is cribbing on Daft Punk's soundtrack.
And their helmets.
Yeah.
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 And I will say, I mean, design-wise goes, I think the helmets are fine
mm-hmm.
overall. It's just the suits right now, because I think it's more of an issue of just looking too armored and bulky for me as compared to the others.
I mean, that's understandable.
They basically just look like Blast Chamber, the PlayStation 1 game where you push each other around in a room that rotates.
That is a deep cut, Ryan.
Yeah, right over 2.
Yeah.
So Rita's at a quarry, summoning Goldar.
Again, they didn't make any kind of excuse for a silly name. They're just like, nope.
Goldar.
His
Made
name
of
is
gold.
Goldar.
I have a question. I know she's using mystical abilities, but making Goldar out of gold, which is ostensibly one of the most malleable,
Yeah.
not strong metals.
No, not at all.
It's spooky gold, though. It's special gold.
Yes.
Yes.
Potties!
Putties are doing belly flops.
Yeah. This is a very interesting sequence, I would say. Like for the first time you see them in combat, you have this underwater, 9 degrees of freedom movement nonsense. Like, I think
It's cool.
yeah.
It's neat, yeah.
So actually, I will say it is cool to the detriment of the scene that comes after it.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm like, wow, that was really cool.
That was sweet, and now it's just like let's punch for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
against
'cause guess what?
5,000
Nobody's
buddies.
going to be able to move in those suits well.
Yeah. Well, this is all obviously CG.
Yeah.
That's... And I know it's going to be aesthetic they were going through, but that's, again, one of the charms coming off of Tokusatsu, or at least stuff from Sentai, is that you have a lot of really hard-working stunt people in these doing amazing things.
Yeah. They're obviously all, guys in suits, but they're still believable guys in suits. And Power Rangers aren't armored compared to other things like Kamen Rider or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that. You don't usually get a lot of armored looks in Sentai specifically.
Because it limits, movement of stunt performers, which understands. Yeah.
But
Make my monster grow. That's, we're going full in on references now.
Yes. Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Yeah.
Cool design. I like the design of Goldar a lot.
Yeah. Rather than like big gold flying monkey.
Yes.
Yeah. The mastodon looks like a giant beetle.
It does look like a giant beetle.
Yep.
Honestly, it does look like it was actually from
Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs, which, funny enough, by the way, I've been showcasing a bit of the original series B Fighter on RPPR stuff, and that is wild in comparison.
Yeah.
Also, this too, the choice to do the full mask removal.
I mean, I understand why they went for that.
It's a post Iron Man world.
Yeah.
I know, but but considering the fact that you see the front has a segmentation where they could just pull it up, it just seems like a weird choice, and especially now that they're doing this. But
I do like it as a way for them to keep the suits and the helmets on, as because once they enter the suits here, they don't take them off until the end.
Yeah.
There we
And now
go.
we have,
the
we have
theme.
the theme, the same way the Zords came out, in the series. So Billy's kind of comic relief in a weird way.
Yep. He's running he's running backwards somehow.
And again, I don't feel like I should come down on this because ostensibly, kids.
Is it?
I don't know. That's like my question.
Yeah.
the questioning tone, but I sat there going like,
Yeah.
I mean, the rendition of that sounded very weak in comparison.
Yeah, it's not the original.
It is not the Mortal Kombat soundtrack by any
Oh, no,
means.
it's not.
No.
Yeah, it's not Wasserman just rocking out on this thing.
So I will
If
say,
we have Kanye West.
yeah. It's them struggling in their Zords goes on too long for me here. Again, there's cool stuff that happens in these, but this is one sequence that is just a smidge too long for me.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Which is
Because
sad.
as I was watching this for the prep for this, I'm like, all right, like okay, like they're doing the individual Zord stuff. They all have their little sequences. Okay, when are they gonna Megazord up or whatever?
Yeah,
and it's a long time.
It's a long time, and the reason I think more or less why I'm saying it's too long for me is that there's only so much acting you can do sitting down in a cockpit.
Yeah,
That's them crushing.
Oh, that was
so when I saw him step on the yellow Camaro, I was like, wait, is that a dig at Transformers?
I think so.
He says,
100%.
sorry,
Yes.
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So it 100% is.
Yep.
So again, movies we could have written.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you that I think it can be done effectively, but yeah, it just kind of goes on for a little bit longer than it needs to. And
Yeah. And then we see all the bullies getting putties dropped on them.
Yep.
Because
really
again, no car is safe.
do they need more comeuppance just because they've been basically been dunked on by the main characters for the rest of the movie after they got their powers?
So here we just have a weird sequence.
Yeah.
Hey kids, are you hungry?
Yeah. The Daily News.
Yeah. So here we have, I imagine that this would have become a joke because we obviously see Rita going after Krispy Kremes and having one.
Yep. She's like, I like donuts.
And if she came back, she'd be like, I must get my Krispy Kremes.
Yeah.
That's the sequel.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. That would have become a joke.
Yep.
And that's why Saban was like, all right, who's going to give us money?
And Roy is like, I'm going to go punch Jim for kissing Pam.
Yeah.
I'll give credence to the fight, at least with the part of the Zords, is that it's the rare thing where you actually saw the individuals actually doing something.
At least in the early show.
Yeah.
It's more that the actors just don't. There's only so much you can do in the space they've given them to act in.
No, and that's absolutely
They haven't gotten to the teeth gritting and we're gonna hold the line. Yeah.
And they're gonna hold the line for a minute and a half. And I'm like,
looking
will
at
you
you.
just push them in the hole, please? Yeah. We all know where this is going.
Looking at you, Guardians of the
Jason's
Galaxy.
dad. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
They sees him from a mile away.
I gotta save my dad.
Also, and I think that's another missed opportunity is for that one where you see, he's obviously in the Zord, showing him ejecting from it.
Yeah.
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 So much better.
The
Just to show
Power Rangers.
Yep.
There's a guy trying to help you, and you're obviously like wow, the fire department's gotten a lot of budget from that last that millage increase.
I take it back. I do appreciate that his dad saw him. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
My one criticism of the Goldar design is it looks like very, very scrawny in comparison with everything else in the film, as far as
Yeah, it doesn't look like it carries a lot. It doesn't carry weight.
Yeah. It's like if I was a giant kaiju. You can push me over even if I am 50 feet tall.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I know we're kind of coming up from this a different angle when we see Shin Godzilla, which is a gold standard of how you do kaiju.
Yeah.
It's like fucking S tier kaiju design.
Here we go.
So Kimberly has grabbed Billy's Zord.
Yep. There's a little fake out of the Megazord, like, oh, I've got an idea.
Yeah,
Like, are they gonna start to do it?
They're gonna form together and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Kimberly just drops
Yeah.
Billy right into through
Brought you
Goldar.
back just to kill you again.
He hits one
Hits
of the 5
sonic
buttons.
boom and
Yep.
knocks him back, I guess.
Yep. This apparently
to
does a decent amount of damage to Rita because the
Yep,
putty's all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Breaks her concentration, knocks her out.
Yep.
Kind of.
I'd like to think that's an EMP that took out half of the town's electricity.
I think Goldar fell onto a Boston market.
I think
ago.
so.
I think so. Is the reason why the Zords are still working because they're analog?
Yes.
Gypsy's all analog.
Orphan Grid's not a digital thing,
Can
baby.
you feel the rage of the electrical engineer on the recording?
Actually, that's why Zordon has the pin table
Yeah.
instead of his tube.
So Rita is healed
By the
by
gold.
Goldar.
Yep.
Yep.
Because at first I was like, wow, Goldar is melting, huh? That's
Yeah.
interesting. And then it was like, no.
I thought that like Goldar was gonna merge with Rita into like a giant golden Rita.
yeah.
I almost thought, yeah. Makes sense too. Or this is me being lame about this. It would have been so better if he was hurt, she was hurt, and they're becoming symbiotic. So they corrupt the dragon coin, and it suddenly becomes a golden version of their dragon.
Yeah, something
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that'd have been fun.
Goldar does get the Destroyer face from Thor 1 there.
He
from-
does,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
He looks like
yeah.
he looks like a servant of Sauron a little bit.
He also looks like a dude that would drop a bunch of fantastic loot in a Dark Souls game.
Yes, he
Yep.
does.
Oh,
That you could cheese by just like rolling around and hitting him in the back of the shin.
If you walk around his hole that there's a crystal in very, very, very carefully, you can stand 3/4 of the way around outside of his range and shoot him with an arrow.
Yep.
honestly, I might have fought him in Elden Ring.
Yeah. Now it's time to hold the line and grunt for a minute and a half.
Yeah. Yep. So here we do the wall of resistance
Yeah.
against the unstoppable force.
I'm just curious, what kept them from shooting the entire time? Like, do they have ammunition reserves?
They had to fight putties.
Yeah.
It's cool now, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool now.
It's dramatic.
There's a callback to the earlier part of the movie
Yeah.
where Billy said that's what he told the bully, but he didn't, in fact, and now he's going to say it because
Mm-hmm.
he's more confident.
Jason's getting clobbered in his T-Rex Zord.
Yeah, Trini's the only character who doesn't really do anything at all during this 20-minute sequence.
Nope.
Did they really? Yeah, they didn't really show her cockpit much, did they?
No, she
Not
just gets
really.
covered
She
with
got-
putties.
Covered in putties.
Aw.
Yep.
So this was a weird moment where it's like, oh wait, hold on. These are like space magic robots, but they don't have heat insulation.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Goldar
crushing
just
makes sense.
Literally
I'm fine
just
with-
folds the
wings.
wings of the pterodactyl backwards.
I'm fine with the crushing. The
Yeah.
heat was a weird choice in
Yeah.
this movie. Goodbye, car. Hate cars.
Very bad CGI car.
Yep. Bonk. Hinting at what's gonna come.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just come to a realization, unfortunately,
And what is that, Aaron?
that they got pushed in, and okay, I know why the Megazord came about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
mean, at this point, it's kind of like if you were at all familiar with Power Rangers, I think you kind of figured out how they're going to be able to form the Megazord. So, but
So we're getting the sad, hopeless slow-mo.
hand on the glass.
Hand on the glass.
Reach.
Mr. Spock time.
Yep.
Angel Krispy Kreme out of danger.
Yeah.
Where's your donut god now?
Yeah.
Looks like
So
you'll
bow
be
to
deep
the
fried.
Taurus.
Yep. So this begins the Power Rangers Hellborn saga, where they all have demon powers.
Yeah. I fell through shadow and flame.
Lame. Yeah.
We now emerge. The White Power Rangers. Zordon the White.
Yeah.
Gold of their Megazord.
Yeah.
I don't like this design at all.
It's
It's very plain.
It's bereft of personality, which I
Yep.
think is when you're creating the mechs out of Sentai or even Power Rangers, that's the greatest sin, that you just can't look at that and see like, oh, that's this particular team's one,
Right.
or this
Yeah.
fits to that particular theme. It's just there.
I think it's because
It doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the very obvious weak points of the little like pods around the around the chassis,
Mhm.
I think, are kind of what takes it away from me, as opposed to having like that central command center
Absolutely,
thing.
yeah. That's a missing thing with this, absolutely as well. And the fact that it's one of those, it's a design that you could easily see how it came together. Like
Yeah,
the-
when you saw it rising out of the lava, like you saw like the machines kind of like fitting together and melding, but
it's very much the Bay, it's a Michael Bay one where it's too complex. Or what I assume right now, you're looking at a 7-year-old or somebody looking at this. Oh, I could put these together and
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I know we made a Pacific Rim joke earlier, but the Megazord very much has that Pacific Rim look where it's
Yeah.
got like the / Iron Man look where it's got like the power cell in the center of its chest.
yeah, and that's, I mean, all the Rangers have that kind of look to them as well. So like it kind of just looks like a big Ranger.
Yeah.
It doesn't look. I mean, there's some robotic qualities to like the end of the limbs and such, like the hands and feet, but like it doesn't have that I don't know, like that classic kind of like mech look. Like in Pacific Rim you have what's the Russian one called? Like Cherno Alpha
yeah.
or whatever. The big Russian one that looks like a big ass fucking slow mech.
Yep. It really is just it is boring looking. There's not enough color to it.
Yeah.
So it's fighting Goldar, a thing named Goldar,
Made
Yeah.
of gold.
made
yeah.
of gold, and this thing looks like it's made of like just plain steel.
Yeah. With blue lighting.
Yeah.
fine.
It's I do like the reference to Michael Bay is a great one. Like that feels like something Bay would put out there and be like, this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's for an example too. I was mentioning anti-series Rio Soldier. There are like sequences that series came out where they had a guy in a full dino, costume, one of the mech costumes,
Yeah.
runs along the walls. Where I looked behind the scenes, and that was a full business. The the CG they used was very cheesy, but they made a guy work for it, which looked fantastic in a silly, blocky suit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compared to this, it's like, you know what? Okay.
So sorry to interrupt, Aaron, but we saw the suplex that Alpha taught the team how to do,
Yep.
which I was not expecting them to use that against Goldar.
I liked it because
Yeah.
they all kept doing it, right? So
Yep.
it's a fun little call. That's what they did together.
I do like the sword being like part of the mech as opposed to like, and now we have a magic sword that we make out of magic.
Yep.
And
now
now
we're about
it
to
kind of fits the design aspect of how this movie has worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's absolutely a fair cop. So
And now we're about to have the best part in the whole movie.
yep.
I
So
I
yeah.
giggled and cackled at this next moment.
So Rita has emerged from Goldar's oozing
Yeah.
corpse on the street.
I mean, it's a you may have stopped me, but there will be others, Power Rangers. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and you can't be friends forever.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we're gonna bring your ass to Zordon.
Yeah.
I have never been to Hooters. This is like
So Rita leaps
This-
at the Megazord
Yeah.
and gets literally
Fucking
backhanded into space.
Into space.
I forgot you got yeeted.
presumably they backhand her into the moon.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's what happens here.
Yeah. Which is why her base is on the moon.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's so good. I will watch all 2 hours of this movie just to watch
See
Rita
Rita
Repulsa
get backhanded.
get backhanded into
Get
the
backhanded
moon.
with a fucking like Dragon Ball Z, just like debris flying everywhere.
It's like a Team Rocket. We're blasting up again. Like,
Yeah.
like.
What I like too is that the Megazord doesn't like hit her really, really
It's
hard.
just like.
It's just like Just like
Oh,
momentum
God,
There's
yeah,
there's
just-
there's
Yeah.
weight to that blow that's not in the fight with Goldar.
Yep, she's going to the moon.
Go to
no.
the moon.
Yeah.
To the moon.
No, it's, yeah, definitely getting picked up by the moon's
Oh,
orbit.
there's
Rita
an
will
interesting
go to
cameo
the
here in
one
a second.
space,
So.
one place not polluted by megazords. The moon.
Oh, we have to pay for all this.
Yep. Here you go, Ryan. We're about to
Yep.
see the original Rangers.
Yep.
There
But
they are.
yep. Tommy Oliver and
Oh, yeah.
Hi,
can't remember-
Tommy.
Yep.
Yep.
Hi,
Amy Jo
Kimberly.
Johnson.
Yep.
Yep.
And I only remembered that because I just looked at the IMDb.
And they are
Yeah.
in green and
Yeah.
pink.
Green and
There's-
pink. Yep.
Yep.
And they're wearing their colors. Yeah.
There is a joke in one of the later series when he comes back as the Black Ranger, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't have any black clothes in my wardrobe." Like that is
Oh,
a
that
line
was
in an
Dino
episode.
Thunder.
Yeah. Yep.
There
and
you go. There's
the
the dance from earlier.
Oh,
I'm assuming this is Imagine Dragons. I don't know if it is. It sounds like Imagine Dragons.
So Jason has returned to Zordon's lair and also
Yep.
returned a sword.
Yeah. Which, okay, like that, like the sword was given no
There's no.
Wait.
Yeah.
or purpose, I guess. So whatever. But it's it's you will ranger again another day.
Yep.
it's a series that will never be continued here.
Yeah.
So we see Trini repairing her room because that's what high school kids do: drywall work.
Yep. She is an odd girl. They said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what my dad did, but also
So there's a little joke here
So-
about the yellow one. He's so cool, and she says, "How do you know he's a guy?"
Yep.
Because yellow was originally a guy in Japan, right, Aaron?
yes, that's correct.
And here again, Kimberly with her just complex underclothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked this with his mom.
Yeah, so Zach's playing chess with his mom in bed.
And when he asks
I
if
have
they're
a-
good looking, she
awful
checkmates him, which I
Yeah.
thought was really funny.
Yeah.
I have a very awful idea of like Zach actually going to Zora and saying like, "Hey, if I give my coin to my mom, she can maybe the Black Ranger and maybe cures her cancer."
Worth a shot.
Yeah. So Trini is also in detention for some reason.
Trini things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trini things. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it just forever detention? Because
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's the Vulcan skull behind Jason, the little
okay,
like thin guy and whatever. But
Yeah.
there is a post-credit scene.
There is.
in this.
Oh,
There
I don't know that I
is.
watched it.
Yeah. It's very very brief.
Yep.
We'll probably talk
But
to
this
it. I'm
is
sure.
the weirdest like musical thing. If I got the power, like
Oh,
that was
God.
like this was the one I did not expect. I do like this credit sequence though of all these like gems and
Yeah.
stuff. It's stylish.
Yeah.
Looks like a music video from like 2005, but whatever. It's
Th-
fine.
this feels very very 2010s exit sequence in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So. But yeah.
well, also yeah, it's at least the late aughts reminiscence with like the Marvel, the MCU movies, just doing the close-ups on everything. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So it picks you out though. Like I
You're
I
like,
thought that was gonna be the
Yep.
the
Mid-roll
the
then,
stinger,
yeah.
but no, we're not. So yeah, that was Power Rangers. Brian Tyler did the music for this, doing his best impression of Daft Punk doing Tron. But
he's in Kent. Interesting name.
visually, this end credit sequence is very good. Like I think it's aged quite well. I mean, obviously all CGI.
Yeah.
How do you
for
think
sure.
you say that? Dacre?
So,
Dacker? Dacker?
Dacre?
Dacre?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, RJ
RJ
Seiler. I
Seiler,
wanted to
that's
see
my
more of
man.
him, yep,
Yeah, he was
as
so good.
Blue Ranger,
Yeah.
Yep.
Becky G was
is
Trini.
Trini, yep.
Yep.
Who I-
Lynn
yeah.
as Zach. David.
I didn't care for Trini. Her performance in this movie.
Mm.
So I wonder why she got so much less screen time. Was it just
I mean,
like
that's
was
that
that
would kind
maybe-
of be the joke of like the
Yeah.
yellow's always been like and the yellow one.
Yeah.
So I had a in high school it wasn't debate, but it was like rhetoric where people would like come up with a speech and like perform it and they get graded on it. And there was someone in my grade who did a Power Rangers speech. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So back in detention, they announced Tommy Oliver, who is absent. There's just a green jacket. But no Tommy. And then a locker explodes. Yeah.
That might have been my fault.
Yeah.
That's great.
But anyway, so let's just say rhetoric, because that's all I could think of, or what it was called. But gave a speech about the 5 Power Rangers and like what they meant and like the personality traits and how you relate to them. And it's like, for Jason, you if you were a guy and you liked Jason the best, you probably liked sports and girls. And if you were a girl and you liked Jason, you probably liked sports and girls. And Zach's like, oh, Zach's the black guy, and there's like, well, moving on. And then Trini, being like the weird misfit who didn't really have a spot, kind of just filled out the team and whatever.
I mean, yeah, the place that they actually did in story-wise that I remember is they're kind of acting as translator for Billy a lot of the time.
Yeah, because he often got into like the techno babble of the nerds and such like that.
Yeah, so they just gave him like she was somebody to give him another friend to kind of wander around when the focus was on everyone else. So
right. So that was Saban's Power Rangers, a weird adaptation of a iconic series. So let's get into View Again, Brew Again. Are we going to watch this movie again? Or are we going to drink this beer again? Aaron, why don't you start us off? Would you watch this movie again? We drink this beer again of yours?
Like I said, I would watch this movie again, if nothing else, with my friends who have not seen it, just because it's generally funny. And drink the beer again. Oh, it's Rainbow Sherbet. Yes, I will absolutely drink this again. So
awesome. I will go next. For Brew Again, Witch's Hat's Oktoberfest, I'll say yes, I would. Oktoberfests are just a great, easy drinking beer this time of year. Nothing remarkable about it. It's as middle of a road as a beer can be, but it's Oktoberfest. I don't expect much from that. German beers in general, they're nothing to write home about. They're just tasty beers. Witch's Hat's known for kind of the more big, audacious kind of stuff. So this is the first time I've seen something kind of standard from them. But there's been a lot more breweries in Michigan that have been canning their Oktoberfest this last couple of years. So this was a good one, though. A little more maltier than some of the other ones. So, if that's your thing, give it a shot.
It is my thing.
Oh, Power Rangers. I enjoyed this movie, but I don't think I'll watch it again. Way more competently made than what I would have thought was going to be from this. But it has some good performances, but it doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, or like that like I recently rewatched the original Power Rangers movie. Aaron, I can't recall if you were there that evening.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we watched the original Power Rangers movies on a movie night weeks ago, whatever it was. And like that was fun to laugh at, just because it was like, hey, this came up when we were kids and this is aged so ridiculously, and just the premise of that movie is ridiculous because you have guys in like Tengu costumes and a PG Clive Barker villain who brings Zordon to justice for employing child labor, etc. Like it's fine. Like I would say that like if you grew up watching Power Rangers and have like kids and want to show them this, like this would be enjoyable for both of you at a certain age for them. It definitely is a little more darker than any of the material that we grew up watching, but it's not the worst thing. So it's like soft no for me. So Ryan.
Okay, I'll start with Brew Again. Nothing new to add really. This is fine. I'm a multi boy, so I like that out of this guy. But yeah, it's fine. Nothing particularly standing out here. One more sip. To the movie. So you know what? This was pretty fun. Would I watch this again? Yes, I wouldn't like decide to sit down and watch it again. But, if it came on, I'd be like, okay, all right, fine. I'll do something else and watch this in the background. Or if someone asked me, is this movie worth my time, I would say yes. Like, if you had any interest at all in this, I, like Max, was surprised at just how competently made, I think is the best way to put it. It's pretty fun. actually. Yeah, I was expecting a disaster. Very much expecting a disaster, and it's definitely not that. I am not sure who this movie is really for, though.
Yeah.
I really don't know who this movie is for.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone that would have been like normal Power Ranger age when this came out, if you were that age now and watched this movie, I don't think you'd like this movie.
Right.
I don't think this movie has appeal to children.
No.
So I don't know who this is really for. Because I feel like it probably doesn't lean enough into the source material to be rewarding for someone who really liked the original show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know who it's for, but I still kind of enjoyed it. So yeah, it's kind of a weird place for me. And James, you mentioned Chronicle earlier. It's weird, in a weird place between like Chronicle and the original Power Rangers movie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, thought it was going to be a disaster. Kind of liked it. There's some again a few instances of just like good camera work.
Mm-hmm.
Again, was not expecting decent camera work in the Power Rangers movie. And then just R.J. Seiler, great performance. The guy who plays Jason, I forget the actor's name.
Docker.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's much better in Stranger Things than he is here. But yeah, I guess I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, Brew again. I'm gonna go with a no.
Okay.
I think there's a lot better Oktoberfests out there, and this one really didn't do much for me.
Fair.
That's fine. Okay.
From a view again, yes. For me, the weakest part of this movie is the plot. It's interestingly shot. I think that most of the people in the movie give good performances. They're interesting, and actually, to me, when they allow the characters to breathe and to be with each other, like they have chemistry on screen.
Oh yes, I think that
Like
is probably the strongest part about the movie is the five main leads of the Power Rangers.
They work well together.
They work well together.
They work really well together, and I actually think that the movie does them a little bit of a disservice by,
especially Trini.
Yeah, by just not. It's weird because like it's not like they're never all together on screen, but they don't give them enough times just to like talk with each other or have more chatting. Like they oftentimes are like moving from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and for 2 hours there's a lot of space that you're like, how is this 2 hours? Like there not a lot happens in 2 hours, which is a weird thing to kind of have for this movie. I would say.
Yeah, because I would say like the first act is up until they meet Zordon.
Yeah,
and then the second act is montage until Billy dies.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like it's like a 30-minute montage, basically.
The exception there being
keeps going.
Yeah. The campfire scene.
The campfire scene, and
is
that's
a
the one that
standout.
stands
And that's a really
out.
good
It's
one.
a really good scene. And I almost so outside of like the suplex because it comes back, I guess, right? In a way, if you're not going to show them in the suits, I would have almost rather have shown them like talking about how they still can't morph.
Yeah.
Or that, like give them more time to build that chemistry with each other. But those are somewhat nitpicky. Again, I thought this movie was going to be like, oh God, why did we watch this? And it's not. It's good. I'm completely okay with this movie.
Yeah, definitely. We've just had the sequence of like movies we've been surprised by.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the third in that sequence that had really, really poor reputations that we were surprised by. So it was this, New Mutants, and The Spirit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spirit, man, a fucking great movie.
That movie
Check
rules.
out The Spirit.
Yeah.
And I will stand for New
Mutants.
Mutants.
Awful things about that. So
Yeah, the Spirit, like the TLDR is the movie came out in 2008, along with like genre-defining film for superheroes, and kind of just like flew under the radar. And Samuel Jackson just eating the scenery.
Ton of fun.
for all so yeah,
That movie needed Ragnarok to be. That movie needed to be a post Ragnarok movie for it to be accepted.
yeah.
okay.
But Aaron, as the Sentai Tokusatsu expert of these parts, what are some series or Power Rangers or otherwise that you would say are worth people's time checking out if they enjoyed that kind of stuff growing up, and still kind of want to dip their toes into it today in their adult years.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I will try not to go into many digressions because there's a lot of it. This is an example for something that I've been kind of exposing other people to. We've gone back to like the original Kamen Rider back in the 70s, as well as this. But there's a lot of stuff that you can go through. So, on the American side, I'll say if you grew up with Power Rangers and you did the whole Zordon era portion of it, there are a lot of good series. The ones I think that are easiest probably to get into and still are worth times as probably an adult watching a kid show obsessively, would be probably Power Rangers Time Force. I would say if you would like to watch something that had the nostalgic callbacks, if you're the Tommy fan, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Let's see, Power Rangers RPM was kind of a weird alternate reality Terminator based series.
Oh wow!
Okay.
With robots, and I'm not kidding. But that had a lot of praise that I've seen with reviews. And then if you're wanting to watch modern stuff, because they've had a switchover where everything of the more modern series are being showed on Netflix now. I've heard good things about those. I have not watched them yet because I've kind of fallen out of just watching Power Ranger stuff for a while. But no, I think that would be good. And if you would like to go on the Japanese side, I will legally not say anybody specific's names. So
Okay, all right.
But there are many fan subber groups because it's a gray area, just to be honest. And Toei kind of doesn't do anything, but they kind of frown on it. So,
All right.
you can find stuff everywhere. There's actually groups that are selling DVDs. I think Shout Factory is doing a lot of the older Sentai series, but I would say if you want to see the originals, Zero Ranger. I know a personal favorite of mine was called Kaizo Sentai Go Kaiger, which are the Pirate Power Rangers.
That sounds amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to say, don't watch anything what they did on the American side. They screwed it up. But basically, it was the 35th anniversary series, and they all could transform into the other teams. So,
I think that was like the team is comprised of like multiple teams. I think, maybe. I think you might have showed a trailer for it or something one evening, but
maybe so. Oh no, it's basically just a 5-man team, but they have the ability to transform into all the other teams. So
okay,
that's all it is. So and it's a celebration of that while they're basically just being space pirates. So that's
fun.
But you can find fan subbings of that group there, and I will give names and write-ups if anyone do. If you want to do Kamen Rider, which is one of my favorites. I would ever say start with Kamen Rider Kuga because that's early 2000s, but it's just the base start of it. There's a good one called Kamen Rider Double, which is basically a hard-bitten detective story with, a drug allegory monsters, and that is not made up. And recently they just started I say recently, it's a couple of years ago, but the Reiwa period pieces, now that Japan's in a new emperor, and the series that just ended was called Kamen Rider Revice, which literally deals with heroes that are taking their demons and using them for powers. So,
sounds pretty awesome.
Japan likes their symbolism and metaphors.
There's a wide variety of stuff here. So, like I said, if you look into Japanese tokusatsu, you're gonna find a lot of things you can get into. So,
yeah, and I know on the comic side of things, I think it's IDW does the Power Rangers comic over here in the United States, and
Studios actually. So
what was that? Oh, Boom Studios. Yes, you're correct. You're correct. And they had recently been putting out a Power Rangers series with a lot of like evil versions of like the main cast and stuff that was pretty well received from what I understand.
That was the Shattered Grid storyline. Yeah.
So you have like the evil White Ranger and stuff like that. So if you want those evil versions of the characters and weird, amalgam groups, give that a check out from Boom Studios. So, Aaron, thank you for taking time out of your evening to come hang out with us and watch this movie and drink beer. And I know it's a very hard ask. But
no, like I said, I know the beer thing on there. I have my sour ale, so I could keep save.
Yeah.
As needed. But thank you much for the invite. It was a ton of fun. I'd absolutely love to if you want another invite for a weird movie. So.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
You've made it through one, so you have the opportunity to suggest movies for us to watch now. So use that power wisely.
Yes.
Like the morphing power, not for your own personal gain.
Oh no. I mean, like not like others we could mention, maybe.
Well, yeah. But where can people find you online, Aaron, if they want to check out what you're doing? Because you do a variety of stuff.
Yeah. So, first off, I'll say like if you want to find me, my Twitter handle is at Aaron Karsten, Carsten for that. Sorry. That kind of goes with those. I'm actually a member of the Role Playing Public Radio podcast, for their actual plays and other things, along with our friend Ross Payton. So, I do a lot of games over there. I also host a weekly stream on so weekly discussions, say, on the our Discord channel, as well as doing Railery podcast streaming, which is just started back up again, which is on Twitch, and that is us just doing video games at any point. We're currently doing Digimon Cyber Sleuth right now with our friend Maddie. So yeah, those are the main places that you'll be able to find me.
Great. We'll have links to all those places in the description for this episode. So go give them a check out. Go give them a follow, and find out about some cool things. Aaron's always has interesting things to share with people, and it's a good time. It's a good time. So, if you like what we're doing here at Good Brews Bad Views and want to be able to choose future episodes of the podcast, much like Power Rangers 2017, consider supporting our Patreon at www.patreon.com/goodbrewsbadviews, where you get access to the monthly poll, as well as Max's Musings, my monthly column on whatever the hell media I'm watching. If you like what we're doing here at Good Brews Bad Views and want other people to find us, please leave us a rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. Help people find us through the power of the algorithm, or use the Palgorithm, where you just tell two friends about the podcast, and they like us or they don't, and everybody wins. Good Brews Bad Views is available on all social media websites at GBBV Podcast. You can send us all your hate mail at goodbrewsbadviews@gmail.com. And as always, please watch
And morph.
Zord responsibly.
Oh, Christ. We're all fired.
Yep.
Aaron, you run the show now. We're all fired over here.
What?
Yep.